All right, finishing up practice here at Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha for the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands, powered by QubicaAMF Edge String. This is your practice for B Squad. We'll give you the full field rundown here shortly once we're underway. And with just 1 minute left, you hear the announcement from Toby Contreras, our Midwest Regional Director, getting these players ready to get underway. Going to have Brian Schmidt joining me in the booth. We're going to talk a little bit about this interesting, is a nice way of putting it, 45-foot test pattern, the testing quotes. Something that I've never seen at the regional level before, and I don't think any of these players have ever seen at the regional level before. So we'll talk about that once we get into game one.
right, these one holders, your warm-up time has elapsed. Waiting on lane 12 to be finished, as well as 2. All right, big thank you to Stephanie and Cassie hanging here. Foxx View Lanes and staff, of course, taking such good care of us. Mr. Phil Ryler, hats off to you, buddy, for doing such a wonderful job taking care of us and live streaming the entire event. Big thank you to our sponsors, Foxx View Lanes and QubicaAMF. Bowlers, split the 8-9 on your first ball, and if you don't strike, please make your spares.
Thank you, Toby Contreras, and the guy that's made a lot of spares on the PBA 50 Regional Tour here in the Midwest this season. Brian Schmidt joining me in the booth.
Way more spares than strikes.
And Brian, even though you're not bowling this weekend, even though you haven't bowled on this 45-foot pattern, it is a bit interesting here. We're going to bring it up on the screen. There is no oil on the outside 4 boards of either side of the lane.
The middle finger. That's pretty much what it says. Was watching a little bit before I came down. I was watching on the phone, and it looks like it becomes 3 different tournaments here. The blend out after game like 2.5 or so, then game 5.5 or so, and then the last 2.5 games. And you saw a few scores, game 6, 7, and 8, when it blended out a little bit. Some of the guys banging out and making a move.
Yeah.
So I think the first 4 games, 3.5 games, kind of stay around even, and then hopefully you catch some good pairs and can score.
Yeah, I mean, one guy that did it all day long was Chad Moss on A Squad. Plus 101 he ended up at. But he had 6 of his 8 games above 200. I don't think anybody else had more than 4.
Right. Yeah. He had the right ball in his hand. He made great shots. He broke up some bad shots that he had and took count once again when he needed to take count. And I think that's going to be a big thing. As you go through the scores here, you can tell us there's a 13-pin spread there between like 7 or 8 spots.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Right.
Just you got to split, grab the 2, grab the 3, and move on.
Chad Moss plus 101. Ryan Burton was plus 57, but he was under until game 8. He shot 268 the final game with the front 8 before a vicious stone 9-pin stopped his run of perfection. And as you said, now here's where it's really tight. Between 3rd place and 8th place is 13 pins.
Yes.
Dave Bears at -2, Matt Gasson -3, Darren Bloomquist -11, Ethan Jones -14, Kevin McCune and Ryan Lopano both at -15. Then Matt Hibbard -18, a little bit of a drop back to 10th at Brent Boho -30. So, yeah, it's I mean, usually on turn, you walk into qualifying, you go, there's not going to be a roll-off for a tie for the last advancing spot. I think there's a pretty good chance there's going to be a tie for the last advancing spot, as tight as that is.
Hopefully nobody left, especially in that Kevin McCune range.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be right in that area. So.
Yeah. Kevin already said he's not coming back. He's on his way to a Jason Aldean concert back in the Chicago area. He goes, it is what it is. I'll take my chances. If I needed 1 more pin, I should have gotten the 1 more pin.
Yeah.
So, but let's take another look at the pattern here. As Tietmeyer, I don't think he's going to make the big 4. We had Matt Gasson make it earlier. No, he would field goal.
Field goal.
So, what is all that oil piled up in the front of the lane doing for these players? Is that kind of something that's going to take urethane out of play, obviously, because you can't really get it to skate that long.
True.
And it's just a flood.
It is, and I think, talking to some people in the know, and this test pattern, it's what it's designed for is to try to eliminate the young kids and the people with rev rate to get out of the urethane and try to make shots. And I mean, you can throw urethane on it. I don't know how well it's going to hit, and I don't know how well it's going to carry, but looking at that, I don't think that's the ball of choice.
No. So we got Seth Tietmeyer, Louis Bendeck, and Miguel Mejia Providor in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is Quentin Bolin, Joseph Cruzel, and Jack Deisland. Deisland, a youth player, bowling as a guest this weekend. So we almost filled the field here. We're one player short.
Yeah, they tried talking me into it, and I made the better decision to watch the Wisconsin game. I don't know if that's a good decision.
Well,
but, I beat myself up the last 2 weeks in Nebraska and Iowa. This weekend feels really good to sit here and watch.
So let's get next door, 5 through 8. So on 5 and 6, there you see our host, Stefan Hanen, stepping up. Hanen bowling with Trenton Holtz and Kai Nitschke. And there's the pair we're going to be keeping an eye on all day long next door. Nothing against you there, Mr. Hanen, but when you've got EJ Tackett, Justin Knowles, and Alex Acosta sitting on that pair of lanes as EJ goes right through for the 4-9, something falls late and takes the 9. We won't say what, but it's it's going to be a fun pair to watch. Hey, how about that cover?
I was going to say before we started, how many unique three pin with the 4, 3 pin with the 7, 3-10 with the 7 and the 4, and the 2-8-10.
Right.
How many of those we're going to have today? Because the first shift there was a ton.
I saw 3-4. Our leader Chad Moss left a 3-4-7-10 and then went between the 3 and the 10 on the spare attempt, between like a double and a 3-bagger, so that cost them a bunch of pins. And that's one thing that's very important this weekend. There's a lot of tournaments now where you qualify and then they drop the pins for a bracket match play the day 2 of the event at the regional level. Not the case here. It is just straight pinfall all the way through. You come back tomorrow, bowl 4 games in the Cashers round. Top 8 go for 3 more games in that round of 8, and then we take the top 4 for the step ladder. So every pin is so important all the way through.
And said that right just before. To make the cut, every pin's important. To make the Cashers round, to advance on, every pin counts. I've been on both sides of that. Missing a cut by 3, missing a cut by 2, and actually striking the last 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to tie for a spot in Indiana this year. So every pin's important. You can't say it enough.
So we got a couple of lefties here with Trenton Holtz. He's got spared double on 5 and 6. He had a big 823 series, now obviously a league series, here earlier this week. Almost took down the house's Striker Rich jackpot for $7,500.
Right, 7-pin.
A ringing 7-pin in the third shot of the 10th frame cost him on that, but I'm sure he'd probably be pretty happy with 823 for 4.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
So he was joking around before. Trenton goes, do I get to replace my low 3 games with my league score from the other night? No. But it's a nice thought. But it's going to be interesting to see because the way this pattern is designed, you're not going to have the right-handers migrating into the lefties landing area, so the lefties landing area is really going to hold up a lot longer.
Yes.
So we saw that for Ryan Burton earlier. We saw it for Ethan Jones earlier, so a couple of lefties. And I think that's the part of the pattern, too, is it's balancing out the lefty-righty equity so far from what we've seen.
Yes, I totally agree. And it's going to be interesting to watch Justin Bolt today. Starting out here, he's got a pretty darn good look, and where he migrates to.
Right.
Obviously, there's, I think, would we say, three lefties on this squad, so not going to run into a lot of traffic. Obviously, he's got probably only 2 games where he's going to cross against those, so it's going to be interesting to see where he migrates to. Alex off to a good start on 7 and 8, showing the big boys how to throw. Front 5.
Yeah, we'll stay here with Acosta. We'll get the other players in the squad introduced here momentarily. But I want to make sure that we're here for Acosta trying to get that front half. Like I said, Ryan Burton today, wow. I mean, front 8. Front 8 and game 8, and then literally the back of the bowling ball going off the pin deck stopped the solid 9 pin because the pin was going to the left, being a left-hander, and it hit the back of the ball.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Some of the goofy leaves, I guess you can attribute it to going through the pins on the strings, but
not that one.
Not that one. No, that was very unique.
And then another thing that we've heard people say, as Acosta with the 3-6-10, is that you can't bounce pins out of the pit, you can't do much with it, blah blah blah. Well, guess what happened on game 1 of A Squad this morning? Matt Gasson, who's currently in our top 5 overall, left that big 4, and hey, how about a bounce? 6 comes out, rattles right into the 4, into the 7. So he said that's the first big 4 he's ever made in his career.
There you go.
So
you never know. You never know. That's why you throw it hard and hopefully hit a pin.
Yeah. So they can be done. We saw last year at Easy Bowl, Kevin McCune make the Big Four. I know Stephen Hayden showed a couple of 710s being made. I think he made one of them actually on the strings. So
we were doing Bowling Green, wasn't on strings, but we saw Chris
Oh, yeah.
make the 710.
yeah, and Mike Clark Jr. as well. But
Yeah.
Mike left the 6-710 before he made the 710. And that was funny because then that caused a tie for the first place in the stepladder that Clark and Brad Angelo had to roll off for. Angelo won the roll off, and then Angelo ended up winning that event.
Yep.
That is such a great event in Bowling Green.
It's phenomenal.
So it's one of the best senior regionals, 50 regionals that you guys bowl all season long. I know it's a bit of a long trip for from Wisconsin for you and Corey.
Yeah, well, you know, when you got to drive around Chicago, anything's a long trip.
Oh, especially in a Sunday afternoon coming home.
Yeah. Not enjoyable,
No.
but it's worth it. They treat us so good down there. I get to see a lot of guys from the south and from the east. Some of them that I bowled with out at Ron Moore's senior shootout. So it's always great to catch up with some of those guys. Dan Knowlton, who I've got to know pretty well, and some of the other guys. It's awesome. I love that. I love going out there. I love being at that tournament.
Yeah. So let's get our players introduced here on 9 through 12 and 9 and 10. Alex Carrillo, Ben Medina, and River Van Vegel. They forgot the Van and Van Vegel up there, but that's okay. 11 and 12, Jeremy Kenyon, Evan Gens, and Ian Kloss. If that last name of Kloss, if you're from Wisconsin, sounds familiar. Yeah, his dad is Chad Kloss. And there's a bit of a little flop around there for Carrillo. As somehow that turns into a 9 count. But you've bowled a couple events this year on string. I know I usually live stream that event in Sussex.
Yes.
I wasn't able to do it. It was a conflict with Coldwater for me this year. But how'd the guys on the 50 tour react? I mean, usually it's harder to change us crabby old people's minds than some of the younger.
Yeah, there were a lot of
folk out
crabby
there.
people that weekend. A lot of crabby people. If it was a 9-pin tap tournament, I would have done very well.
Okay.
I think the overall opinions of everybody is, and it's my opinion too, is higher flush, especially for us, quote unquote, is huge, especially for if you're a lower rev rate player on this stuff. We had a fairly long pattern with quite a bit of oil, and I was really good with weak 10s and really good with solid 4 pins. So I could get it to go through the pins, and then I'd leave a 4. If I wouldn't get it to go through the pins, I'd leave a 10. And then
Well, it was a pretty tough pattern.
it was, and once again,
well.
Tom figured it out. Hess figured it out and got the ball to roll and get it through the pins. And once again, he walked away with the title, and that was the whole thing.
That was the start of 3 in a row for him, wasn't it?
Yes, he's been on a bit of a roll. I think I'm gonna talk to Toby when I'm done here, and we'll put out a bounty like they do in poker tournaments. A bounty on Tom Hess where we get an extra $100 if we knock him off or something. I don't know.
Well, since he can't get National Tour Player of the Year, he figures, next best thing is gonna be a Regional Tour Player of the Year, and I think he's got that pretty much locked up in the Midwest.
Yeah, he's bowled well. Tony's bowled Oliva. He's bowled very well this year in the Midwest. And Rick Wilson has bowled very well.
Yeah.
Great to see Kevin Grahn back. He went through some back surgery, finished second last week out in Iowa, and it's great to have him back.
So our final players here: Connor Pula, Chris Watson, Ryan Zagar. Watson's going to be our host for the RPI for the Midwest region in a few weeks. Also, not just for the standard division, but for you PBA 50 guys as well. So great center at Strike and Spare 2 in Lockport. Always glad to be able to live stream their weekend in Memorial Day weekend, the big event there with the Celeste Walker tournament. AJ Johnson was our winner down there this year. And Chris always hustling, and he runs some great events at Strike and Spare 2, not just for the PBA, but for other tournaments as well. Topher Sosinski, Scott Schultz round out your top bunch. And once again, if you're a fan of this guy right here, EJ Tackett, you can watch every game. We have all the pair feeds in play on the PBA YouTube channel. We'll be bouncing back and forth, obviously, between hot hands and stuff, between stars like Tackett and Knowles. during the day. But if you want to watch every shot, my recommendation is open a second tab, look at the description underneath the video that you're watching. If you're full screen, bring it back down to normal size for a second and open up the description. You'll see all the pair feeds. And if you keep us on in here, we follow hot hands. Like you could have seen Ryan Burton going for 300 earlier while you're watching somebody else. We'll let you know how many pairs of lanes the bowlers are moving as well. So like after this game, it's a pretty simple move. They're going to move one pair to the right. So the players you see here on 7 and 8, they're going to move to 9 and 10. 5 and 6 goes to 7 and 8, and so on. So it'll be a nice easy follow if you keep us on here in the main feed as well as the pair that you're watching. So I know there's a lot of stuff going on. It's Saturday afternoon, college football. I know there's a PBA RPI qualifier out east
yes.
at a great center with Mid-County Lanes in Middletown, Delaware, that people can watch as well. I know a few of you are double tabbing here. So let's see what's going on here. Yeah, we had a little blip there for a second. Our audio may have cut out. The picture may have froze for a second, but we're back to normal here. So, and let's see, is Taka with some struggles early. Acosta hanging in there okay, and Knowles plugging along. So, but as we saw earlier today, don't judge anything off of one game because we saw a lot of players with slow starts. I mean, Brent Bowe was 100 under after 2 and ended up getting it back to minus 30. So anything can happen. It's just when it's a pattern you haven't seen before, sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out.
Yeah, when it's hard, like this is, as hard as it may be to not get discouraged or not get upset, just 190.
Right.
It just, okay, 188, just, and then come back with 210, and just keep your mindset as everybody else is going through the same thing.
Oh, I mean, Chad Moss today. I mean, 6 games of his 8 over 200. His low game was 177.
Right.
So Ryan,
and that was his last game.
And that was his last game, yeah. Ryan Burton started with 159 and still managed, especially thanks to that big 268 game, the final game, managed to get to 57 overs. So, as you said, patience is key here today at Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin. So we'll stay here for the finish with Tackett, Knowles, Acosta, Holtz, Hanen, and Nitschke. Is it Nitschke or Nietzsche? Nietzsche. Isn't that the isn't that the philosopher Nietzsche?
Sure.
Frederick Nietzsche? I can't remember. I know he's a famous philosopher, like a Nietzsche or something like that. Here in Wisconsin, you say Nitschke, everybody knows Ray Nitschke.
Yep.
So, who always had his phone number listed in the Green Bay phone directory for decades after he retired.
He was a very unique individual. I had the pleasure of bowling with him in Gloria Bear's tournament.
Oh, the Larry Heisel.
Larry
back in the
Heisel.
day.
There we
yeah.
go. Yes, and he walked down with size 18 shoes, big cigar in his hand, and he slapped everybody on the back. And I believe we had 3 ladies on our pair that day, and he slapped them on the back and shot the crap with everybody, and he let me try on his Super Bowl 1 ring, and I actually could put 3 fingers through that thing. He was a unique individual, and I love that. He was awesome.
So once again, our players going to be moving a pair to the right. So Hanen and company moving over to 7 and 8. Tackett and company moving over to 9 and 10. And once again, for this PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, we couldn't bring it to you without the help from Bowl TV, the digital rights holders of the PBA. Thanks to them for giving 10 of the Deck Productions the rights to stream this event. Thanks to the PBA for letting us stream this on the PBA YouTube channel. And thanks to H5G Brands, our season-long sponsor for PBA Regional Live Streaming for 10 of the Deck Productions. And thanks to QubicaAMF for their sponsorship as the powering sponsor of this event with the Edge String pins there. So he's Brian Schmidt. I'm Phil Brylow. We'll be back with some commentary after player movement into Game 2. Thanks for joining us this afternoon from Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Stay there.
right.
Game 2.
Scoring pace, not surprising. Same as Game 1 of Ace Squad. Brian Schmidt joining me here in the booth. I'm $2 Phil Brylo. And Brian, what did we see? 3 200 games?
3 200s, a couple 190s, a couple 180s, and a lot of others.
Yeah. The others are going to definitely come into play, but that's the thing. Everybody's probably going to have an other game or two, but it's not going to knock you out of competition. This isn't, the players new coming in. It's not like you're walking in on Cheetah where the centers play, really nice from the outside and you get Cheetah on top of it. If you're going to shoot 220, you're going to lose ground.
Right.
Shoot 220 today, you're probably gaining 40 pins on a majority of the field.
Yes.
And big games few and far between here on this 45-foot test pattern. And let's bring it up again here as they're just underway, 1 and 2. Once again, 45 feet in length, the outside four or five boards, 4 boards. No oil all the way from the foul line to the head pin. And so if players even try to think about playing too direct out to that point, the ball will immediately move for right-handers, will immediately move left. And once it starts moving left, even though it hits oil again,
it's going to go off the pattern.
Yeah, depending on how quick it moves left, it could go all the way across the lane. We saw some shots yesterday with players trying to, start it straight up like 2-board, and it just hooked and then went all the way across. They were hitting 7 pins on a 45-foot pattern. Yeah. Normally you wouldn't think it would get all that way across, but when it's dead dry like that, absolutely has that possibility. So it's something these players are going to have to figure out, and it doesn't matter if you're an E.J. Tackett or a Seth Tiegmeyer or a Jack Deisland. You've never seen a pattern like this before.
And it's one of the nice things, too, and I do appreciate this, and I've passed this along many times. When you're streaming something, if you're in the B squad and you're wondering, that doesn't matter if it's this pattern or Mark Roth pattern, watch.
Yeah.
I mean, get up and put it on your phone or put it on your tablet, whatever you got, and watch. See what's happening. See what the surfaces are going down. See what balls guys are playing. And it helps. It makes a huge difference. I don't care what anybody says. If you're on staff with Brunswick, you're on staff with Storm or whatever, and you see somebody scoring with a certain equipment, and go grab it, throw it in your bag, and make sure you got it when you come. I mean, that's important stuff.
So, yeah, a whole bunch of players in the 190s and 180s. E.J. Tackett on 184, he's 12th after one game unofficially. It's nice with the tie-in that they have with the scoring QubicaAMF scoring system here. It can give pretty instant updates for individual standings, and they have some standing boards in the center here at Foxx View Lanes. I think they did the same thing at Sussex too.
Yeah,
so
as
it's
soon
really,
as the pair is done, the scores are up.
So, yeah, pretty nice to have for the bowlers area. So Justin Knowles at 230. 226.
226. 222. 210. Oh, geez, there was 5.
Oh, okay. Ian Kloss, Topher Szynski, 209
6.
for Kloss, too. So one of our young players bowling as a guest with Ian Kloss, getting out of the gates pretty well. I'm sure. I know his dad, Chad, said he's going to try to be here around game 2. You don't want to give up the tee time on a nice Saturday like it is here in Waukesha. The rain got through this morning, and it's a pretty nice day outside. Went out and got some fresh air myself between squads. And rejuvenated myself just
We
there.
get so few days where it's nice here, so take advantage of being able to play golf. There's a nice big
golf
golf outing at Dretska today to support the veterans. I know quite a few people are there.
Okay.
Chad would have been there, Moss. He would have been there, but and Dave Barris, but they chose to bowl, so I think that was a good decision.
Yeah, very good decision. We know we'll see Moss tomorrow. We're going to most likely see Barris as well. I just don't see that cut getting past 20 or 30 under.
Yeah.
But here's a good question for you, Brian. You're going to answer this better than I can.
Oh, boy.
What if somebody tried taking a white dot out in the weeds on this pattern? What if somebody tried playing plastic out in the dry?
It still would pick up. I mean, then that's – you have to be completely, utterly accurate, completely accurate. I don't know exactly what would happen, but it's still going to flip. Even though it's plastic, it's still going to come up. Go throw it on your carpet. I mean, that's kind of, as soon as it hits any type of friction, it's still going to hook. and you have 5 boards to play with, and even if it does read somewhat, it's not going to have any energy in the end.
Okay.
Puck.
So gets the 1-3 pocket
Yeah,
and goes.
Yeah.
As Knowles goes high there, and our leader after 1. So that pin will be reset. It looked like it fell a little late, so you'll see it actually record an 8 on the scorecard, and it'll reset the 4-7 for him. So sometimes you'll see the pinfall start early, the strings will start retracting, and it will knock another pin over. USBC rule is you have to go by what the automatic scorekeeping says happened, because obviously that's tied right into the pin setter. You don't get the same visual on some of these. I know there's a couple of the string pin setters too that really don't start picking up the pins till after the curtain's kind of dropped on top of it. So that's another good reason why you have to go by the automatic scoring on these string pin setters. And I'll tell you what, it's nice to see more and more competitions being bowled on these. I mean, it's going to happen. It's going to change. And
It's going to be a hot topic for years.
Yeah. I mean, you see the internet chatter, too, going, oh, well, Bolero/Lucky Strike, they're putting in a lot of centers and stuff like that. Well, guess what? There's more centers that are small like this, 16 lanes and smaller, that are putting these particular pin setters in than there are big centers like the Lucky Strike. So because it's kind of the difference between, hey, staying open
or not. Exactly.
I mean, you look at the real estate values in this area of Waukesha, Wisconsin. I mean, they took down an old shopping mall just to the east of here, and there's all kinds of multifamily apartment buildings and all that stuff. They could do a lot more with this land to make more money on it than throwing a ball down the lane.
Yes.
So it's really helping some of these proprietors really stay in business. And another thing with Foxx View Lanes here, it's not just bowling here. I mean, last night as we were leaving, there was a band setting up, a huge bar area, great restaurant area. During the summer, they have volleyball courts outside. They have a huge car show here, Carvano's Car Show, on Wednesday nights that literally has hundreds of cars, along with live music every Wednesday during the summer. So they do a lot to keep things rolling here with money in the cash register and keeping things going. And that's the thing, is that the Hannon family, they keep improving their centers. You go to the other center in Sussex, they have Neoverse. It was really cool to see everybody's banners drawn on the Neoverse instead of hanging at the end of the lanes like you see here. So
it saves Toby so much energy.
Well, it's not just that. It's Toby remembering to take him when he's done with the tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
The last 2 years at Sussex, I had to run him to him at his hotel after it was done. So
he has so much stuff and responsibility to work on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it was they did we bowled in Lincoln a couple weeks ago, and they are the test center for all the Qubica stuff, and they are looking to do some different lane beds. So we got to look at the different lane beds and the colors and put our input into that. And they did the same thing. They put the banners up behind the lanes.
Nice.
And they put the scoring up on the lanes, which was great because us old guys could look over at the young guys who were bowling on the same pattern as us and see that we were 400 or 500 pins behind them. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. We're all averaging 190 and they're averaging 230. So yeah, but no, it's really neat. It's kind of like bowling at the Nationals where your scores are up behind the lanes, and that's fun because you get down to that 7th, 8th game when you need to make the cut, and you look over at your competition and see that they're struggling, and kind of gives you a little bit of a boost.
Just saw 2-8-10 get made down on lane 14.
Oh yeah.
And it was a bit of a
helper. We call those helpers now. Yeah.
That 2-pin was spinning around like a beechwood propeller, though.
Yeah.
Coming around there, so that had enough momentum. But you got to look at it this way too. Everybody goes, oh, you get the string hits, that kind of thing. But you also get strings that interfere with pins rolling across the deck, that kind of thing. We saw a couple messengers earlier today that could have gotten there and all of a sudden hit a string and it stopped.
Yes.
So your good breaks and your bad breaks, just like free fall, they're going to even out.
Yes, I agree with that.
So
I err on more of the side that they work against me. They don't ever give me any.
Always, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Wii bowling, I get screwed by the pin physics in Wii bowling. Yeah.
At Wii bowling, I run the people over more than I hit the pins.
So Tackett coming back off a couple early single pins, one of those being a miss, which was a bit surprising. Do you do hands in the air, 5 pins in the air for the proprietor?
Oh,
When,
absolutely.
All right.
I'm highly encouraging everyone to go to the bar very
Well,
fast.
actually, hold on. Let's get over to
there,
lane 8.
There we go.
You see the 5 pin there for our host proprietor, Stefan Hayden. Stefan not a good start. He just missed the 10 pin, unfortunately, in his previous frame. Trenton Holt's having an okay start to his weekend of competition, hopefully.
I believe his split was a 6-8.
All right, here we go. Hand in the air. I got my hand in the air. I'm looking to see if Cassie's around because she'd probably throw something at my head.
Oh, a little wide.
And all
Clutch.
over it. All over it.
FanDuel had a 3-1 for him to make it. So
All right, so EJ trying to get the baby split, slides behind, and that's going to make it a little tougher with your for righties, right side spares, knowing that those outside 4 boards are bone
flippy. Yeah.
bone dry.
Thanks, Toby.
The handsomest man in the building.
There he is. Whirlpool man.
Well, yeah. They said they're going to cut his PBA expense account out after he posted that on Facebook yesterday.
Yeah.
A shirtless Toby Contreras. Can't wait for that calendar to come out. So as he was lounging in his hot tub before getting here and having to deal with all the chaos before the practice session. So we mentioned Knowles, Acosta, Van Vagel, Klaus, and Szynski, all your players. Oh, one more, too, with Jeremy Kenyon. So we had 6 players over 200, but nobody really big. 226 was the high with Knowles. And Knowles looking to get his first double here in game 2. And how about that for a interesting 6-7 almost? I'd say almost light. 6-7. Wasn't exactly flush pocket.
One of the strange hits, and I think I had 2 or 3 of them at Sussex, is you get a light mixer where you think, oh, it's a good shot, and you leave a 410.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a 6-7 for a lefty, but it's very strange. And if you watch today too with messengers, obviously for the right-hander, head pin coming across, it almost seems to always go in front of the 10 pin. To get it to actually hit the 10 pin is very, I'm not going to say rare, but it's very odd that it does.
Yeah, and once again, entry angles are key because you're
Correct.
trying to change. You're trying to be a little flatter into the 1-3 on these string pins. So therefore, if the head pin gets hit a little bit more to the right side, it's going to go off the left side and come back at a sharper angle.
Yep.
All right, Tackett needs the right to ship here. He's pacing 195. I mean, pacing 190 right now is not a bad thing. Find something at the end of the block and rise up the standings like we saw for several players, like a Matt Gasson and a Darren Bloomquist. Gasson finished 247, 224, 213 to get the -3, so he was sitting almost 100 under with 3 to go.
Right.
Bloomquist, came in after starting 159, 143, and got himself back to -11.
Yeah.
Shot 6 straight 200 games, 5 out of 6 200 games, and the game that wasn't was 197.
197, yeah.
So yeah, so there's been some comebacks as it goes along.
And that's the thing. And once again, games 1, 2, and 3, 180, 190, 200 in that area.
Yep.
And then it becomes a different tournament for games 3.5, 4, 5, 6, and then the last 2.5 games, it's another tournament. So obviously there was a group of guys in the first shift that figured it out. Didn't really kill them. I mean, averaged 215, 216 for the last 3 games. And they made big jumps, and they're sitting actually fairly decent.
So Tackett again, looking to get a baby string on the board here. Is that about the 3rd ball EJ's gone through?
I'm sure. I think he brought a few more than last year when he was here. I think he only had 3 or 4 here last year.
Yeah, pretty interesting though. Chad Moss all day though. I mean, 2 balls, that was it. He switched right around game 4, never looked back, and never really had to. Never got into that much trouble.
Once again, right ball, right hand, right angle, and some breaks and some carry, and look where he sits.
And then, patience, not giving away the easy makeable spares. And we've seen a few players already get in trouble one young man that remain unnamed right now, I've seen him miss 4 single pins and 16 frames.
Yeah.
That'll make your day real bad, and that also tells you that go home and work on your spares. And that's one of the neat things too about these QubicaAMF Edge string pin setters, is that you can just go ahead and set up whatever you want all day long. You want to practice for an hour on 10 pins, it'll just keep respotting that 10 pin for you, shot after shot after shot.
I paid $245 to bowl in PBA events to practice on 10 pins. That's a lot more fun. Wait, what? No.
Oh, man.
I think I left more 9s than 10s last week. So,
Yeah, way to go, Belmo.
yeah.
Turned into Belmonte for a few days.
So I don't know if that was good or bad.
I wish they would have had Lane Talk back in like 2018, 2017, 18, 19, when Belmo really just was on fire, taking those consecutive Player of the Years. And EJ had great years those years, and just Belmo was just that much better those years. But the number of times he'd have 9 pins instead of 10, like he'd leave more 9 pins in the season than 10 pins, I think, honestly. So we got 2, 4, 7, 10 on 9, which is converted by Knowles.
Nice.
Over on 8, we've got a 3, 6, 7, 10. 2, 8, 10 on 6. Yeah, it's real easy to find your way into trouble with a little bit of an errant shot on this pattern. And it really looks like EJ is really starting to come a little bit more up the back of the ball to keep it in play. And when we were watching Chad Moss during the morning block, it was when he had an errant shot, it wasn't targeting your speed. He'd look at his hand and his wrist because he got around the ball when he didn't want to.
Yep.
It's always nice when the players help us out in guessing what went wrong. Hey, shooter. Oh, well,
there we go.
Let's give it to him.
The helper.
He deserved it anyway.
The helper.
Back to Knowles. That's why I wish we had close-ups on these sometimes, because sometimes I think the pin just hits it, but it's so quick and it's so far away that you can't 100% tell on that. Because we had one. I do local bowling here in the Milwaukee area, the Bruce City Bowling Show. We've taped some shows here, and we had a shot one time where I went back and looked at slow motion frame by frame, and it was actually the pin spinning around on a 2-7 combo. They hit the 2 on the right side, and the 7 went down, and it looked like that could have been. I slowed down enough, and no, it actually was the head of the pin hitting the back of it, and then it fell forward. So it was pretty interesting. EJ Tackett. Oh! He really liked that one. I think he liked that one more than the one in the 8th frame on that lane.
It's going to be interesting to see where he migrates to. He's a little deeper than a lot of guys right now. Apparently he has a little bit of hand. That's what the rumor is. But he's got a pretty solid line right now. Just a matter of carry.
Oh, I forgot they had Specto here on 3 and 4. Son of a gun. It would take so much to try to. That's why I was so impressed, and I hope that keeps going with the broadcast this next season on the CW.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll probably bring that strike track technology, whatever nickname they're going to call it now, but it's all thanks to Kegel with that system. And that's always so interesting to see from shot to shot with the rev rate, all that with Specto. Looking forward to seeing that on the CW, and that starts on Sundays in February.
Yeah, that will be interesting. They should be announcing some of them or all of them very soon here.
I'm hoping. So I was kind of hoping we would, when we're at the PBA LBC National Championships Clash 2 weeks from today, you'll be able to see that on the PBA YouTube channel for free as well. I was kind of hoping like Tom Clark would be there with the CW guy, and they do the announcement and that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm sure the CW is going to get that out there pretty soon and start building the interest.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
And
thing.
if they can do some coverage on the PBA, on the behind-the-scenes stuff with the PBA and the players, like they've been doing with the Xfinity series, I think you're going to get to know a little bit more about the personalities of the players, other than just the quick, pressing questions with Kimberly, which is a great segment. But you can only ask so many questions.
Right.
So it'd be great to follow EJ when he's, flipping a burger at Easy Bowl and, talking to his customers.
What's life really like?
Right, yeah. I mean, when he's not out there, when he's not out here on the national tour or regional tour, it's time to keep the center going. They put a lot of work in at Easy Bowl. That'll be one of those PBA RBI qualifiers that you'll be able to see on Bowl TV. So They're your home of the RPI qualifiers. Are you looking good for RPI points to get out there for the PBA 50 side of the equation, or are you going to have to get that?
Well, we eliminate Michael Haggett and we eliminate Tom Hess. I'm in 6th right now, so those two guys don't count. So I'm in 6th. Top 4 make it.
So you're right on the number.
I'm right on the number. Pretty close. We have a couple weeks in Verdun, or a couple weeks. In October, we're in Verdun. Then we go to our RPI, and then a very unique tournament in Watertown after the RPI that Jeremy Wolf got for us, and that actually will count for RPI points.
Oh, okay.
So we do have three tournaments left. Oh, Toby just handed me the RPI points for the kids.
Good stuff for the kids. Yeah, well, we can talk about that a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of guys in the Central region that aren't eligible because of the seasons that they had.
Correct.
This year, like EJ Tackett, obviously, and Justin Knowles both wouldn't be eligible for the RPI. So, your player movement between Game 2 and Game 3. Skip 2 pairs, land on the 3rd. So Brian will have back for at least one more game, if not more. And appreciate him sitting in. Appreciate everybody tuning in on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and hey, let's have some more fun. Let's watch some B Squad qualifying here for the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands, powered by QubicaAMF String, and don't forget, the official merchandiser of the PBA is H5G Brands. Get yourself some beautiful sweatshirts, T-shirts, hats. Get that toque ready because you're going to need it for this winter, no doubt about it. Check it out after we're done today, h5gbrands.com. Thanks to them for being our regional sponsor for live streaming with 10 on the Deck Productions all season long. Game 3 coming up next.
I did, but it was in the past.
All right, we'll get you an early start here with Knowles, Tackett, and Acosta. We'll get that scoreboard refreshed for you momentarily. And we'll get Brian Schmidt back in the booth. We'll give you a 2-game rundown here on B Squad, and we'll talk a little bit more about this very interesting 45-foot pattern the players are being attacked by this weekend. All right, we should have a 2-game scoring update coming across the wires shortly. Toby Contreras furiously gathering scores from the players. And, of course, when we look at the roll on the wall here, the automatic, thanks to QubicaAMF for the unofficial update. Yeah, we're on the bottom 3, and that is not a pretty bottom 3 when our bottom 3 is averaging 156 or less.
312 is one of my pick 3 numbers.
So it just goes to show how tough this pattern is. And once again, for those of you joining us late, if you want to take a peek at this pattern here, this is not a mistake. This is not a drawing made by a 4-year-old trying to stay between the lines with their blue crayon. This is the pattern in play this weekend. They're calling it a test pattern, and no oil on the outside 4 boards. It looks like. I think I said 5 really, but it looks like 4 now. And then, yeah, as you called it earlier, Brian, you call it the big old
middle finger.
And so it's not easy to score on. But one thing it is definitely doing, and we saw it on A squad, even late in the A squad, it's keeping the righties on the right side of the lane and the lefties on the left side of the lane.
Yes.
Which is unusual for a 45-foot pattern.
True.
In a lot of cases. A lot of times.
Especially for the kids,
right.
For the standard or regular division, definitely.
Yep.
I mean, they want to get left as fast as they can, and we want to stay straight.
So, yeah, so it's been pretty interesting so far. EJ Tackett now with the old, boy, we've seen a lot of 3, 4, 6, 7, 10s out of all types of players today.
Yeah, it's and then followed right up with the 2, 8, 10. So
yeah.
it's just, You think you have something, and you miss by a board, 2 maybe,
Right.
and you have that, and you make a 2-board adjustment, and you're through the face, and you leave the 3-6-10. So it's angle. Get the ball to a spot, and hopefully that's the right spot.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if some of these players are just trying to cover too many boards, because when we had A squad running today, you look at the Ryan Burton on the left side and the Chad Moss on the right side, there weren't a lot of boards covered. There was maybe 5 or 6 out and 5 or 6 back.
Right. And they scored.
Players.
And they just kept the ball in play.
Right.
And that's huge.
I mean, at this rate, Chad Moss has got to be thinking to himself, there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 people within 50 pins of me tomorrow when I walk in the door. But then again, you can have that disappear relatively quickly.
Let's see what happens game 6, 7, and 8. I mean, all of a sudden you could have somebody that's 30, 40 under and go 250, 240.
Yep. Well, prime example, Ian Kloss. We'll take a look at him. He was one of our bowlers over in game 1, and now he's 40 under. So, which means he was ahead of game in the 150s. So it doesn't take much. And now it's his first ball in a new pair, and he's indecisive on the approach. Now he went left with his feet, right with his feet, left with his feet. So he's just trying to figure out what he needs to do. And he's keeping it pretty tame. Yeah. 6 pops to 10, away it goes. So he's trying to bounce back off of something. But that's the thing, be patient. So,
yes.
Oh, look at his dad. Look at Dad kneeling down, talking to him, he's wasting no time helping him out. So, and Chad looking pretty good in the dusty pink.
He's, yes. You know where he was before he got here.
Right. So,
3 people plus.
Acosta, Knowles, Medina, and Medina, he's on this pair as well, as now Medina goes 5 out his first frame. We could have an 11 here.
Yeah.
That's something you wouldn't see. I've never seen that at a PBA event ever, 11 in the second. It could happen.
Anything could happen on this.
We saw Chad Moss earlier today put the ball between a 3 and a 10. So, well, you got 2, so 13's pretty unusual as well. Let's take a peek back in as Tackett. Yikes. More problems for EJ.
And Alex.
Oof. And in different directions, because once again for EJ, it's a 3-7 combination. It's a 2-10 combination back-to-back frames for Acosta. So, oh, there's your senior points, Brian. That's what you were looking for.
Yeah.
So let's see what Acosta can do here to avoid the Bo Burton buzzard. Doesn't do it.
50 in the 5th.
And once again, it's one of those things where, how quick can you turn it around? You don't need a huge turnaround. You just don't want to be pacing 150.
Right.
Get it back to where you get a couple of strikes in there, pace 180 instead, and, give yourself a chance for a nice finish.
This is where it's, you have 50 in the 5th, but it's nice you've had a good start. Yeah. Once again, calm yourself down, figure it out. Let's just set at 160, 170.
Right.
We don't need to shoot 120, 160, 170, and then get off the pair and get to the next pair, and you're still probably in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as you mentioned, 69 over for 2 for Acosta, and 406, 403 for Knowles and Medina, respectively. EJ just under 398. Fully unofficial, but EJ's pacing, giving some back, and now makes the adjustment back.
There you go.
And
that's a prime example.
Yeah, and we've seen this on this pattern all day. It's like all of a sudden players try to make the adjustment with an angle change or something like that. And I think some players got smart later on watching the Chad Moss and that, where all of a sudden let's go up the back a little bit more. But that doesn't seem to be working out for Acosta, because now he's gone up the back a little bit more and he keeps going light. So do you do that with a ball change? I mean, there's so many factors right now that just drive a player up a wall. Mm-hmm. And you can't lose patience because you're in good shape. You're 69 over coming into the game. You're not falling out of the top 3 with a 160 game. But you can't afford to have a 1-0 game.
Right.
Ooh, ZJ almost got that 8 to slide over into the 10. And now Tackett with 2 out of 3 recent opens. You have to be this glad you're sitting here instead of bowling. What do you? I mean,
I probably have a pretty big smile on my
Right.
face because
Right.
as much as I'd like to say be patient, and actually watching the first shift quite a bit before I got here, and then hey, we have an opening. I'm like, I know it's a 40-minute ride home and 40-minute ride back, but. No. This is good. I like you, Phil. I'll sit and chat with you.
Hey, absolutely.
And the
I like
Badgers
having
scored
you here,
another
too.
touchdown.
Hey, how about it? Oh, there we go. Well, hey, for being driven up a wall this weekend, if you can get out of here with the championship, it's a pretty decent payday. $3,000 on top, which is not bad with only 47 bowlers. That's some
pretty
nice
good,
money
yes.
kicked in here by H5G and by QubicaAMF String. And so even the last cash spot, normally they pay 15 spots out. You pay out 1 in 3. We only have 47 players, so there would be 15. They got enough money in there for a 16th spot as well.
Yep.
So, and that's $500.
Yep.
That's double your entry fee if you're a member. So,
And the first in Stepwater gets I think that means
top
free,
seed, yeah,
free
if
entry.
you're- Yeah, if you're the top seed, you get a free entry for another event. So you get that nice little bonus as well, even if you get kicked in the teeth, because it's $1,000 difference between first and second this weekend. $3,000, $2,000, $1,500, and $1,250. And hey, for these regional events, I mean, that's a little bit more. We see a lot of regionals pay $2,000 for first type of thing, so it's a nice little bump. So, and
When you travel, I mean, it's kind of like racing for the regional guys, us guys.
Yeah.
It's for the love of the sport and to hang out with the guys and see your friends and
Right.
and obviously compete, and everybody wants to do good. But you know, you travel, and luckily I have somebody that I travel with and pay for gas, and you pay for a hotel for hopefully 2 nights.
Right.
And your entry fee. And then let's say you get $600 back, you're basically breaking even. So,
And you get your chance
Yes.
to shoot up against greats like EJ. I mean, there's a lot
Oh,
of PBA Tour players
Yep.
that bowl enough regional. I mean, especially in the Central region. I mean, you get EJ Tackett, Zach Tackett, Ronnie Russell, Justin Knowles, Graham Fa. There's so many Central and Midwest
Yes.
guys that bowl the events in their region.
yep. AJ now lives in Kenosha.
Right.
So I mean,
Yeah, he would have been
right
here
by.
if it wouldn't have been for Team USA.
USA,
Their training camp, because he's on the team that's going to Hong Kong in October, November. I think October, late October.
Late October, I believe.
For the
yes.
IBF World Championships. So that I was lucky enough to be on the call on a couple of years ago when the U.S. Elected not to go that time. And Canada took home the team title with Frankie Lavoie, Mitch Hupe, and others.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, and who else?
And I forgot who else was on the team on that one. I've never called bowling at 2 a.m. before, or 3 a.m. by the time it ended up. And yeah, because they were in Kuwait, and I was, they didn't fly me in. It's the wonders.
Yeah.
It's the miracles of technology. Yeah, I was in my bedroom here in the Milwaukee area. Andrew Frawley, the great Australian Hall of Famer, was in his bedroom in Australia, 15 hours ahead of me. And we were getting everything. We were watching the feeds and doing everything from our bedrooms while they control everything in Kuwait. And yeah, it was a fun week.
Made it work
with the IBF World Championships back in 2023. So, kind of hoping I get the call back again on that one. But I know there's other things going on with that. And EJ's just going, what is going on 15 and 16?
Yeah, I think he'll be happy to get off that. Is he going to hit that another time?
Didn't.
Oh no, one game on every pair. That's what we got.
I know we saw a player with a black bowling ball that was a little scuffed on. I don't think it was a urethane, but still having to follow players in front of you, plus one less player to start with.
Yeah.
So there are a lot few practice balls thrown, and game 1 balls thrown on 15 and 16. So maybe that's throwing them for a loop a little bit as well.
I think they're going to be very happy to get off this pair.
Right. And EJ only gets 2 on the spare attempt, and yeah, this is turning into a nightmare for these players during game 3. Acosta's pacing 150. EJ's pacing 150. Knowles pacing 190. So yeah, but looking around, I don't see anything more than a 3-bagger out there right now from anybody so far to this point this game. A couple 3-baggers on 1 and 2 for players that aren't in contention at the moment. Yeah, I just do not see a lot.
No, Jack.
Let's take a look
11
here.
and 12.
Yeah, here's Dyslin working on 3 in a row. He just made an appearance. We did some summer sweepers that we live streamed at a local bowling center here in the Milwaukee area. And
There we go.
commentator booth Kurtz. There we go. And Jack bowled well enough during the season, made the show. Didn't have a good match on TV, unfortunately, but took home a nice chunk of scholarship money.
That's what's
And,
that was awesome this summer for us local people. Unfortunately, it was on a Wednesday, and I was not able to do Wednesdays. But
Yeah.
you were able to broadcast that and gave all kinds of people, from scratch players to handicap players.
Oh, yeah.
Well, very well run.
The plan
it was awesome.
The plan might be for this summer at that center
Nice.
is do Monday scratch sweepers and then Wednesday open it up to and have it handicapped on Wednesdays. So.
Okay.
So
That
we'll
would
have
be
to
awesome.
we'll have to see what they're going to do at that center. I know it'd be fun to stream all that. Give me a little something to do during the summer on Mondays and Wednesdays, and yeah, good time to be had by all.
Any exposure for bowling is, I think, is always good.
So, well, we had an event here. We had a Baker mixed doubles here back in August, and we televised the finals. If you want to check it out, it's Brew City Bowling Show. It's on my 10 on the Deck Productions YouTube page. Stefan Hayner, our host, and his wife Cassie made the finals in the Baker mixed doubles we had here, and they shot 255 in the championship match and lost to a 279.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody that was striking, the balls were just flush in the pocket. Cassie had one errant shot that she chopped on a 3-6-10, and that was the difference in the match. So, but it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun featuring different centers in the Milwaukee area when we bowl, that type of thing. And that's part of the neat part about the PBA Tour too. There's so many different centers that they go to at the regional level. Sometimes they're having regionals down at Strike and Spare 2, where Chris Watson will be the host for the RPIs in October, which is a 38-lane center. And then, you have here, you have a 16-laner, and then you go to Detroit, and it's 54 lanes for the main bay at Thunder Bowl. And, yeah, it's just neat seeing all the different stuff.
We went back to Cedar Rapids last week, and they had hosted in the past few years, or past years, they had hosted many PBA events. So this was their first foray back into PBA 50, but first foray back into some events. So it was great to go there. And Toby just mentioned too, next year we have one in Minnesota, which is basically North Dakota. We're going over there next year, so that's another new center.
Let's see. You got a couple of questions in the chat here that I finally got a chance to look back into here. Do you think the CW immediately posts the shows on YouTube like Fox did? I don't know who's got the rights for them, but I think either way, I think they're going to get posted quick. Plus, the CW has an app where you can go back and see things that are archived.
I was just going to say they have an app.
Yeah, so you can go back in the if you get the CW app, which is free, you can go back and check out the archives on that as well. So hopefully they will do that for the PBA if you happen to miss it live and don't have a DVR. Let's see. Do you think lefties might have an advantage here? No. It's playing pretty equal both sides. We'll show you the diagram and the pattern again when we start game 4. So somebody said I think they laid out the oil pattern with a garden hose. No, it's actually a little too firm in the middle to be a garden hose, but it definitely is not easy. So there's only 2 players over after A squad, and there might only be 2 players over here after 3 games on B squad at the rate this is going. And, we're on the QubicaAMF Edge string pin setters. If you haven't seen them before in any type of setting, this is nice because you get to see all day. You get to see there's a reason why last year they did the research on these regional events. They had the research regional. This center was one of them, as Holtz leaves a pinwheeling pin that doesn't take out the 10. And Holtz is a player that was doing really well and now is going to go backwards.
Yeah, big time.
It's one of those things where the PBA definitely checked everything out before they decided, yes, we can bowl certified, our certified competition for PBA regional events and have it count for titles on these pin setters. So actually I see Neil Stremmel, our Director of Research and Rules, and
in the house
now, just got here. So he did a lot of work. He was comparing stats on the pinfalls, and that's a bit of a break there for Knowles in the 10th frame. So EJ is going to have a big comeback. Alex Acosta is going to barely stay to the plus.
Yep.
Let's check out 1 and 2 because Medina's on 1 and 2, and he's having a game that he just wants to throw up about, as he can finish with 166. So that's another one. He's going to go back to under. So we may have just one player over after 3 games.
And Alex on 1 and 2 was last place going into this game, and now he has a chance for 269.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, as we mentioned, we had a couple players off of A squad. There were 100 under after 2. One of those was Brent Boho,
yeah.
and he made his way back. Darren Bloomquist was 100 under 2 and got back to minus 11. So, yeah, it's just a matter of finding the right place at the right time and making everything happen. And speaking of making things happen, you want a company that'll make your jerseys happen, make it the way you want, be bold, be creative, be original. H5GBrands.com, new lower pricing on all jerseys. They've got some great starter jerseys you can look at and just change some basic things with colors and logos, and they can get that for you to wear. And if you have a great idea you want to design on your own, you just can't quite get pen to paper on it, talk to one of the designers at H5G Brands. They did some great things with some $2 fill jerseys for me that are really good. I got a couple more jersey ideas that they're going to be working with me on in the next couple of weeks once I get back from some other stuff, and can't wait to wear them in the booth once we get into 2026. Check it out, h5gbrands.com. There's a lot of players here in the field that were H5G. I know, Brian, you're an H5G staffer as well.
I am. Just got 3 this week.
Yeah, and you've got some. I always love the construction the construction orange jersey.
Just for you,
yeah.
I got a new orange jersey
All
with
right.
hammer on it that'll go with my orange and black pants.
Right.
So
Nice.
next one you do, I'll wear them just for you.
Yeah, well, probably next March. I'm sure we'll be kicking off our PBA Regional live streaming for 10 of the Deck Productions at Liberty Lanes in Carpentersville again in March. So that's when we usually kick things off here in the Midwest. And, we got to thank Bowl TV for letting us have these digital rights. We have to thank the PBA for letting us stream on the YouTube channel. And glad everybody's joining us today. Let your friends and family know, too. They can watch E.J. Tackett and Justin Knowles and all the other players in this field. If you're an E.J. Tackett fan or a Justin Knowles fan, they're going to be moving from 15 and 16. They're just simply moved down to 1 and 2. All of our other players will make a 1-pair move to the right. I'm $2 Phil Brylow. He's Brian Schmidt. We'll be back with game number 4 after player movement. All right, we'll start you off with the only player that's plus, Alex Acosta. Crossing with EJ Tackett, Justin Knowles. Of course, Acosta, great young player, junior team USA. Definitely a threat to do well in this event. We'll get you a scoring update shortly. And we'll talk a little bit more about this pattern with Brian Schmidt coming up after this rest of our player movement here. All right, I've been making a list of things that are more fun than bowling on this 45-foot test, in quotes, pattern here.
Watching the Wisconsin
Foxx
game
Lanes.
today? I don't know.
Let's see. Being any Chicago sports fan. Hello. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Oof. Jeff Johnson. Hi, Jeff.
Passing a kidney stone is a little more fun than bowling on this. Yeah, it's
There's
it's
a
not
reason it's
pleasant
called
day.
test pattern, I guess.
Yeah, so let's bring it up. For those of you that are joining us late, I know we teased it at the end of the last game as EJ Tackett going, what else do I need to do on this? What's going on? This is not a mistake. This is the pattern. I guarantee you this is exactly what's laid out there. Our host, Stefan Hanen, meticulously making sure that his buffer brushes on his machine were dead clear of oil. There is no oil up the outside four boards of the lane. It's a different out of bounds than what people would think. People might think, oh, just swing it to the dry near the end of the pattern and you have room to miss. Problem is the concentration of oil in the front part of the lane on either side of the lane makes it very speed sensitive. And hey, and of course, as soon as I turn away, EJ Tackett makes the 210. I'll get a replay here, so we'll get your replay, everybody. So just when you don't expect somebody to make a 2.810, they make a 2.810. And it's one of the great things we have. So, hold on, I'm hearing myself talking.
Yeah, that's my stupid
Oh, that's
phone.
your phone?
That's my phone. I thought I turned it off, but I had it in little screen. There we go.
I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm hearing myself
Apparently there's a
headphones.
delay. All right.
a little bit. Not much, but enough of one.
You sounded good anyways. I was telling Dave and Chad that I could hear them talking before about a tournament they were bowling in, and very sensitive mics.
Yes.
Yes.
On the cameras here. So Knowles gets it to go. So this is what EJ Tackett just did. As you can see, as we meld into the fourth frame, and there you see him firing towards that 2.8, 2 off the 10, clean into the 8. String this.
Just like a 10 pin.
Ever since Mika Koivuniemen made it during the first year of PBA League in 2015 at Bayside Bowl, I've seen more players attempted that way than ever.
Right.
Where they just fired at the 2-pin and you go for the sideboard instead of being so many players before like try to be dead on the 2.8 and have it kick off and go to the 10. Now it's fired at the left side of that 2-pin,
Bounce it over.
and bounce it over. And if you hit the front of the 10, you get the assist and it kicks it pretty much straight over. So yeah, so nice cover there by EJ on the 2.810, but he's got some work to do. As
3, 6, 9, 10. No.
Knowles is your leader. EJ Tackett currently 12th at -52. For the man that's most likely going to be our 3-time in a row player of the year. Of course, he did win his 3rd consecutive world championship earlier this year.
Yeah, he had a fairly decent year.
Yeah, but he did have a tournament where at the PBA Players Championship, he barely averaged 200 in qualifying. So it happens to the best of everyone,
Absolutely.
where all of a sudden you can't find it. Nothing works, but I'll tell you what, anybody who comes out here and takes this challenge,
Props.
and they knew what the pattern was coming in. Yeah, props to you.
2 are plus.
Knowles and Acosta. And Acosta gave a bunch back last game,
Yes, he did.
and he's already going to give a few back.
Top
Well,
10
this
minus
game.
49.
So that's, yeah, it's going to be, right now if I'm Brent Boho at -30, I'm sweating a bit. If I'm Hibbard, Lopano, and McCune at -18, 15, and 15 respectively, I'm still sweating a bit, yeah. But I just can't see that many players.
It's going to be interesting.
Getting-
Here we go. We had a few scores that game. Now we're into game 4. This would be the second version of this pattern,
Yep.
from what I saw from the first shift. And then once again, we get to game 5.5, 6. Then it'll be the third version. Who picks up the right ball and who gets in the right area and who makes a jump.
Well, now EJ got a ball that really played pretty straight down the lane and kind of eased in towards the pocket. Now he's got the wrap 10, so that's something he can try to make a move off of.
Yes, that's a little easier to move off of.
Carrillo right there thought that ball was in the gutter. No, you hit those outside 4 boards.
Yeah.
You can keep that ball on the lane. No doubt about it. Let's see if we got any good questions in the chat here. It's been a while since I've had a chance to check. Let's see. Well, that's the thing. You know, you're going to get good breaks and strings, you're going to get bad breaks and strings. You get good breaks on free fall, you get bad breaks on free fall. You get good breaks on Wii bowling, you get bad breaks on Wii bowling.
Yeah.
You know, life is a series of good and bad breaks, and it's just a matter of how they happen to pop up.
And you can
So-
you can take, I mean, you know, in the chat and
Yeah.
in all the USBC chat rooms and all the stuff going on about string pins and whatever. I would say probably 70, 80% of the people have never even bowled on them.
Yeah.
So, you know, come out and bowl on them, and
Yeah.
and you make an informed decision that way. And I don't mean come bowl 3 games. I mean come bowl 7, 8, 9, 10 games and see what it's about.
Yeah, and make sure, because You can go down. There's tablets behind every lane, and it shows what mode
Yes.
the pin setters are in. So you can make sure, because there are 2 different modes.
Yes.
For the Cubica pin setters and for the Brunswick pin setters, where it's more the recreational mode, which is shorter strings, and then the longer certified string play. And you can see on all the tablets it says it says certified, USB-C or certified. I forget exactly what it says, but we know that we're in it right now. So as EJ walking back to the bag, taking 1 ball away after switching balls, so I think he's happy with the new ball he went to, and that's the thing. You can't get too far to the left on this pattern early, because what you used to be able to play off the left side bumper
It's gonna
doesn't
push all
exist.
down. Yep.
There's no left side bumper. I mean, that hard cut on 15. As EJ walks back past the booth, getting refocused for the rest of his game. And, it's just, you move deep, you better be accurate, because you don't have that bumper to slide it through for another. I mean,
Right.
that's 10 feet.
Right.
And that left side heavy pattern ends.
There has been some urethane going down, so now you
That's
get.
surprising.
And I totally wholeheartedly agree. And now you're going to get to a pair where maybe somebody threw urethane for a whole game, and you jump into 20, where you just were at the last pair and shot 208, and now the ball goes 100 feet, and you miss the head pin and you wash out.
I'm surprised the players didn't group up and beat somebody with
Beat
rosin
somebody up.
bags after if they pulled out urethane. So, Medina was a player that was plus after 2 games, not plus now, and now running into more struggles, as he's still pacing 190, but you can't feel that good about things right now.
There's the messenger in front of the 7-pin for Justin. That is a common shot.
Yeah, you don't get as many messengers, and then the ones that do happen, they just kind of laugh at you. So who's our other player that's plus, other than, it's Knowles and Acosta. They're both on this pair.
Yes.
So,
Can't say that they're playing off each other because they're on opposite sides.
yes. And once again, the lefty-righty balance is pretty good right now for, a pattern that fully asymmetric. I mean, fully asymmetrical.
Yeah.
So River Van Vagel is, 11 down. So Van Vagel on this
One thing.
stream, and he's got 3 opens, frames 2, 3, 4.
4, yeah.
With 2 single. Yeah, once again, that's the difference between
Make your spares.
Yeah, between a Ryan Burton, who had to be patient all day. He had a game where he had 5 or 6 9 spares in a row. Oh, EJ not happy with that at all. You see why. Well, he manages to get 9 out of that. You see how long that ball is chugging in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That went a long way.
and then you got Van Vagel trying to force it up the outside. When he's good, when he's there on top of it, he's there. He makes a miss right early.
Hey,
Yikes. Hey,
there we got one.
There we go. Let's give a round of applause on that one, Alex Acosta. That's not easy to get that messenger to go. And EJ with the spare. So here we go. After 3 games, Justin Knowles plus 29. Alex Acosta plus 15, plus 16. Van Vagel minus 11. Ian Kloss minus 25. Good showing for the young man so far. See if he can keep that rolling. Ryan Zagar minus 28. Good to see Ryan. He battled some health issues last year. He really hasn't been bowling as much as he likes to. So good to see Ryan back out here and being successful early. Quentin Bolin and Connor Pula both at minus 41. Ben Medina minus 43. Seth Tiekmeyer and Kai Nitschke. And Evan Gens, let's put them all at minus 49. So that's a nice top 10 there. Minus 50, can they bring it back? EJ Tackett just outside that, minus 52.
Where did Alex jump to? Alex Carrillo?
Carrillo is minus 91 after his game 3.
Okay.
So, yeah, 135, 130, and then 244.
4, yeah.
So not quite the, well, that'd be a double century.
Yeah.
In that case, when have you had a series where you've had one game double your other two? I came close one time in a traveling league.
Ooh, boy.
That we moved pairs. I came real close.
Yeah, not off the top of my head. I've been told I remember stupid things a lot, and
Okay.
I don't remember that. But I wouldn't be surprised. I almost did it this
Yeah.
week. I 170, 200, or 200, 170, 270. So
Yeah, right. I had a
Who knows?
I had a 150, 269.
yeah.
I mean, so it was 140, 150, 269. In the same travel league that night, another player went 142, 279, 111. Moving pairs.
Yeah.
And it wasn't exactly one of the easiest houses in the area. It was actually in a Lutheran church. It was one of those church
geez.
setups.
Yes.
Yeah. So those weren't exactly high on the maintenance schedule
Right.
back in the day.
Yeah, Tony was here last week oiling. What do you
Right.
want?
Right. And that one comes high. Yeah, that's one of the neat things, with, like you said, with the regional tour, all the different centers you see some of the best and bright, like you were at Sun Valley Lanes in Lincoln, Nebraska, best and brightest new products out there, that kind of thing. And then you go to some centers and not necessarily on the regional tour, but all of a sudden you're like, hey, welcome back to 1964.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
So.
and even like this center, I mean, I think it was built in the 50s, and there's not a lot of room, and all the bowling balls in here and stuff. And I'm old, okay, but I always joke with everybody. I said, in the 50s and 60s and even in the 70s, when you came to bowling, you came with one ball, and you sat it down, and you talked with your friends, and you bowled, and
Yeah.
you picked up your one ball, and you went home.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't need a lot of room.
Oh, even in the 80s before the advent of urethane.
Yes.
Boy, you had one of those 2-ball bags with the handle that you carried
Yeah.
in with your name painted on the side of it.
Yes.
Oh, Jim Hankey. I remember Jim
I was
Hankey's.
just gonna say Jim
Remember
Hankey.
Jim
He
Hankey's
was my
bag.
first coach.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love Jim. I had the pleasure of bowling with Steve and Jeff, his kids, for many, many years.
Well,
And,
Friday nights at Strakota's, the long closed, unfortunately, Strakota's Mill Shore Bowl in Milwaukee.
Oh,
One of
yes.
the best scratch leagues out there on Friday nights. Lots of USBC Open champions.
Oh my God,
in
that
that
was
league.
amazing.
Yeah. Remember Jim Albrecht on your team, the
Jim?
dentist.
Yep. He
Guy-
just got back into bowling.
Guy had hands bigger than Count Basie's. I mean,
Yep.
with the long fingers and all that stuff. I think he could palm a bowling ball.
Yes.
I just saw Michael Day, too. I think Michael Day could palm a bowling ball. Yeah, you talk about a man that's gone through a lot in life. Great bowler, and then he had an industrial accident and lost his left leg, a right-handed bowler. And a few years, he didn't come back for a while, and he finally said, you know what, I'm going to get out, I'm going to bowl. And a couple of years after he came back to bowl with a prosthetic leg, shot 300.
Yep.
I mean, that's just phenomenal. And he's here today. He goes, yep, back bowling. He goes, I can't stay away.
Perseverance.
So you've seen
yeah, the love of the sport.
Right,
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Right. I mean, I got some physical things that keep me from bowling well anymore, but I love being around it.
You're
and doing
left-handed.
stuff like
It doesn't
this.
matter. Just throw it down the lane.
Come on. Not at Strakota's Mill Shore as a left-hander. They did not. Dave Strakota was not a lefty fan. He made sure of that. I was the only lefty to average 210 in the history of that building. I was shocked when I heard that stat.
Very unique.
Yeah. That's where I learned to play third and fourth arrow like Jason Couch.
Yes.
You had to on
Yes.
the left side.
Great people.
Fifth grade, thank you. Fifth grade.
Well, this game is not a very high-scoring pace.
Yeah, there's not a lot of excitement going on.
No.
It's kind of a grind out. So let's get back to the chat here, see if I missed anything on here. Somebody's asking if I watch a certain YouTube channel, Victory Outdoor Services. I have no idea what that might be. Honestly, if it's not my YouTube or PBA YouTube or one or two other ones, I really don't watch a lot of YouTube bowling. So I do enough of it.
Yeah. your 12 and 15-hour days.
Yeah.
That can wear on you.
Yeah, this is a short one actually. After coming off a couple events in Ohio where it was 3 squatters on Saturdays with qualifying ABC squads. Yeah, where you're getting there at 6 a.m. qualifying to set up all the equipment after the Pro-Am the night before. Then.
And once again, and this is the second time that I got to sit in with you as a bowler and as a bowling fan. Appreciate everything you do, and,
thanks.
and the people who are in the chat and appreciate bowling and appreciate being able to watch bowling, whether you're in Wisconsin or whether you're in California. Phil's a one-man show, and I'm 40 minutes away, and just offered up my services to help break up the time, and hopefully I add a little bit to everybody. But I just appreciate everything that he does, that we can watch some bowling, and any advertisement for bowling is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that.
Yep.
So
I'll stick around for one more game,
stick around
I think.
for one more? Okay. Well, hey, we want to thank H5G Brands for helping bring this to you today on the PBA YouTube channel. They are the official merchandiser of the PBA, so please go check them out. Even if you don't buy anything today, get yourself plans for what you want on that Christmas list at h5gbrands.com. That gray hat, that looks nice and warm. That's already on my Christmas list, so
Extra
I'm going to make
large.
sure I have that for my extra large dome. So he's Brian Schmidt. I'm $2 Phil Brylow, and Game 5A coming up next. Your player movement is between Game 4 and Game 5. Skip a pair, land on the second. So Tackett, Knowles, and Acosta, you'll see them over on 5 and 6 next. And everybody else, like as I said, skip a pair, land on the second. We'll stick with our leaders. We'll check in on some other players that are close during Game 5. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here today. Thanks again, as we just mentioned, H5G Brands, the presenting sponsor of this PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, and our power sponsor, QubicaAMF Edge String Pin Setters. I don't know how they're a power sponsor because they save so much energy. You can run one lane for an entire squad of an event, and it takes up less energy than brewing a cup of coffee in a coffee maker. It's just amazing what these machines are doing for not just proprietors, but for bowlers as well. Game 5 coming up next. Welcome to the halfway point in the B squad qualifying.
Highway to hell.
Oh no! It's not a highway. This is a free fall into hell today for some of these players. As once again, if you're joining us late and you're looking for AJ Tackett, we'll get down by him momentarily.
He has a three-bagger.
Oh. Well,
Oh, wait, he's up right now.
he's up right now. He's over on lanes 5 and 6. Not a good round to this point, though, as EJ sitting a bit back in the standings. Minus 80 for his first 4. You'd have to go a long way back to find a minus 80, but he's not the only one. We only had a couple of players plus on the squad to this point. For those of you that aren't used to the plus-minus PBA scoring system, it's a pretty easy scoring system. And basically 200's par at the PBA level, even though a lot of guys average 220 and such. 200 is a nice round number. And you just simply count the number of games bowled and multiply that by that 200 par number. And then subtract that from the bowler's score as EJ just holds on to pick up that 10 pin. So let's say right now EJ has a score of 718 pins for his first 4 games. Well, you subtract 800. Well, it's actually 714 he has, pardon me, on the unofficial scoring. So.
That was been really creative math right there.
Right, so 714 minus 800, that's minus 86. So, and then he would be considered minus 86 or 86 under after his 4 games. Justin Knowles, however, he's our only player that's plus to this point. So you take that 800 number, subtract it from Justin's score, which unofficially need for that to pop back up on the screen to our left here from the booth.
I think Alex is still plus.
Alex is still plus 2. So the only 2 players that are plus are on the same pair on opposite sides of the lane, with Alex Acosta on the right side and Justin Knowles on the left side. Knowles is at plus 30,
yep.
So
830
and 815. Ryan Zanger making a nice run back. He's at 786 unofficially. Quentin Boland's one of those guys that he's never going to overpower the lane, and he's coming up now on lane 1. Let's get over there before Acosta throws, where he can just keep the ball straight direct on line, and it kind of helps him out a little bit with this pattern being 45 feet in length. He's really staying out of trouble to this point.
Which is hard to do.
It is hard to do. He was minus 41 for his first 3, so he popped a baby 200 in game 4, but 197, 182, 180 not bad when you're seeing a lot of games with E.J. Tackett and Alex Acosta both with a game in the 150s earlier today. So he's Brian Schmidt. I'm $2 Phil Brylow. We'll get you that 4-game scoring update momentarily. Your live scoring link is pinned at the top of your chat. So, and are there any PBA Open events like this in Texas? Yeah, actually the best thing to do is check the PBA regional page. And I'll actually dump that link into the chat in a second. There's your regional tour page. You can see all the action going on in all the regions all the way through the rest of 2025. I'm sure some of the regional managers are posting their 2026 schedules shortly. But you can see what events are new year. If you want to check a PBA regional event out before you bowl one, in order to bowl a PBA regional event, you have to have at least a 200 average in a league for, I believe it's 66 games.
Yep.
For 2 years.
Yep.
And you can bowl as a non-member for a higher entry fee if openings are available. Some events are exclusively just for members. Others sell out to the PBA membership as well. But you have your chance to bowl as that happens. And boy, you got a ball that's just purposely doing nothing on the back end for EJ. That ball is drilled and designed that way, where it's just taking a long time to lope back to the pocket. And yeah, it definitely loped there. And let's see if EJ can pick one up here. I got a feeling. I'm going to hit the record button.
Yeah, yes.
I feel like something impressive may happen
Is
here.
there a TV show called Stranger Things? I think.
Yeah, the upside down.
There we go.
Well,
Never know.
He's going to need to make that 10 pin go upside down and then right side up and sideways and slantways and try to get over that 7 pin. No, the ball been a nice hop, but not the unfortunately not the 10 pin on the 7. So an open frame again for Tackett.
The middles have a little bit more hold now. So this is kind of where in the first shift, A squad saw some surface coming out with some players. So we'll see if anybody catches up on that. I believe Justin made a ball change before this game started.
So for these that joined us late, that's your pattern. It doesn't have an official name yet.
Yes, it does.
Well, it's a test pattern. It's testing a lot of things today. Players' patience is the main thing being tested.
EJ agreed with my assessment of it, so I think that should be what it is called.
So let's take a peek in on Zagar momentarily, as they're a couple frames behind up on. This is a pair of lanes that does not waste time on the approach.
Get up and throw.
With Acosta, Knowles, and Tackett. And that's a strike.
Wiggly, wiggly, wiggly. Yeah.
That is a strike. Andrew, no problem with link on that. Yeah, check it out. And there's, best thing right now if you want to watch pros bowl. I mean, lucky enough this weekend that thanks to QubicaAMF and H5G Brands, we're able to bring this to you on the PBA YouTube channel. Bowl TV has a lot of regional events coming up, as all the RPI qualifiers at the regional level are all live streamed exclusively on Bowl TV. So even if you don't take a year-long subscription, even if you just subscribe for a month, watch some of the pros. You can see some of the pros if you're from Texas down south. Find out on that regional tour page when the South region's RPIs are for the Standard Division and the PBA 50 Division, and then you can watch those and see some bowlers near you and maybe get an idea of
what it takes.
Names you might recognize from bowling centers in your area.
And with the regular tour obviously not going on, the players want to bowl. So if there's something going on anywhere close, they're going to drive and they're going to come and they're going to bowl.
Knowles trips the 6 and the 7 to the left. A little unusual there on the high hit. So let's see if Tackett can. He's already at one stretch earlier game 3 on 15 and 16. We had back-to-back-to-back opens, and he avoids that again. This has not been anything near a fun day for EJ Tacken. I was talking to him yesterday after the practice session, and I said, first of all, how was Australia? He said phenomenal. He was down there for 3 weeks, bowling some events down there and glad handing, doing some tours and stuff like that. I asked him his favorite thing. He said Australia Zoo.
No,
he always enjoyed watching the crocodile hunter with his parents when he was younger. And Crikey It's the Irwins was the new show that was on around the pandemic. He goes, I could have left after I was down at Australia Zoo. It was so cool, so neat. And I go, how's your sleep schedule been since you were down there for 3 weeks? And he goes, yeah, we won't talk about that. Because, and I reminded him, I said, well, we were in Japan. He won the DHC Japan Invitational in 2017 when it was in Osaka. I was lucky enough to be on the call on Extra Frame back in the day when that happened. And it was a short job. I mean, we were literally there for 5 days, and that's it. We flew over, setup day, 3 days of the tournament, and then fly back the next day. So it took about 3-4 days for my body to get used to the time over there. Wasn't bad to Japan.
It's
flying
when you
back
come back.
east.
Yep.
But yeah, and he says that's just beat him up after being. He goes, I was sleeping by 10 o'clock every night. He's kind of a night owl. Obviously with PBA events, a lot of times, night blocks are running till 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So he's more of a night owl. And, he says that has not happened. Since he's an all-night owl now.
Yes.
Since getting back from Australia, he goes, I was sleeping at 10 o'clock at night every night I was in Australia. It was beautiful. So.
Well, Justin's got something figured out this game, and he just ran and got a different ball. So I'm gonna guess he's gonna pull the JJ and get into the 10th, and then do a little experiment with his ball.
EJ is. I don't want to say ready to explode, but the U.S. Geological Service has issued a volcano eruption warning for Mount Tackett. Please be on the lookout. And you can't. It's a frustrating day. You think you're doing things right, and the littlest mistakes. I thought that ball was gonna. The way that ball's reacting, easing so much into the pocket. I really thought he was going to. He got it back on the deck, but in front of the 10. I really thought that was going to be flush pocket, and then it's light pocket. So, all right.
That's your carry down.
Yeah. It could be a two-man race into tomorrow between Knowles and Chad Moss from A Squad. And then, what's the rest of the field going to do to take the last 2 spots into the step ladder?
Right. Once again, every pin's going to count. It's going to get interesting the last 2 games here, or the last 3 games, I should say, after this game.
So Knowles hasn't changed balls yet.
No.
Oh, and another no-doubter. I used to call that a save the sweep strike, but we don't have a sweep.
No.
No sweep necessary. Just set 10 new pins down, but we don't have that issue with the string pin setters. Drop the screen, put them back up, and away we go. So
flush. Yeah.
Yep, it's exactly what he thought he was going to have last time. So, unfortunately for EJ, he thought he could save 220 out of it. Now he's going to get 190, and he's got a lot of work to do in 3 games. No doubt about that. So we got our scoring update. Thank you, Toby Contreras, for everything this weekend. So here we go. Justin Knowles was plus 30, so he can get to triple digits if he strikes out. Alex Acosta plus 15. Ryan Zagar minus 14 for Zagar. Zagar's got a good half a game to go, so we'll be able to peek in on him here to finish out Game 5. Quentin Bowen, we mentioned, minus 27. Ben Medina, minus 31. Evan Gens, minus 36. Connor Pula, minus 47. And Kai Nitschke, minus 53. Run out your top 8. Tell you what, some of those players, we did see the cut numbers start to go back up Game 7 and 8 on A Squad this morning, but some of these players like, Ethan Jones, minus 14, Kevin McCune, Ryan Lapano, minus 15, Matt Hibbard, minus 18, got to be feeling pretty good right now with 3 to go. And even Brent Boho at minus 30 and Philip Watson at minus 33 got to be thinking to themselves, we might have a chance here. So, and I don't think it's, sometimes you see events where, a squad doesn't, quote, unquote, play the lanes correctly. They, move too far left too quick for the right-handers. You hear that stuff all the time.
Oh, yes.
We saw an example of it in Coldwater on B Squad. And then There's Zagar. And can't get the 7 to go on the mixer. So
But
I don't think that's the
case.
case. I don't think that's the case here on B squad. Yeah, the score's a little lower right now, but you know they crept up a bit on A squad the last couple of games. Wow, Acosta, even though it was a fill
ball.
Yeah, but what was he experimenting with there? I could see if he missed it left and trying to strike line or something, but that was a miss to the right. Yikes!
Plus.
Yeah,
It's plus.
It's plus. He's still hanging in there. Plus, he's still got to be feeling pretty good about making it to tomorrow, but you can't have a disaster the last 3 games. Well, it's definitely the longest string of the day I've seen.
Yeah. It's
With a
just
9-bagger.
easy right now for him with that
Right.
shot. He actually has a little room out and a little room in. And he might have just grabbed that other ball.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, you look at that pattern, there's not a lot of bump in the pattern on the left side.
No. No, he's going to throw this one again.
I mean, and there's a couple. I mean, honestly, the pocket's, a couple inches wide. You got a couple inches to miss up front, but if your speed's off or you're actually what we've seen today a lot, you change your axis of rotation that little bit, and my goodness, it really gets accentuated on this pattern. Get a little to the side, watch it go long, and pick up way late. Get it too left too soon for the right-handers, and it just goes face. Yeah,
There we go.
So still, game of the 260s is going to be close to triple digits. Not quite
That's
cruising his way into.
That's huge. That's
Yeah.
That's probably 55 over par, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Wow, that was almost a light 4-6 for Medina. That was a pretty late entry angle too.
Yeah.
That was some of these guys are managing to generate entry angles on this pattern because of that extra drive 4 boards if they're getting it that far out to the right and picking up low early friction, missing the bump at the end of the pattern. Yeah, it's there's some 6-degree, 7-degree entry angles going on for some of these players. All right, so there we go, 266 for Knowles. Let's get back over. We'll catch the end of Zagar's game here. The big news going into game 6, 7, and 8, I know for a lot of people who are watching, is can EJ gut something back out and make it into tomorrow? He's got about 50 pins to make up at a minimum right now.
Yeah.
And the last guy I'll make excuses about his performance today is EJ Tackett. He would flat out tell you, I just sucked.
Another 7 for Ryan, but once again, spare.
Right.
Keeping it in play.
Kevin Gens was hanging tough, using 7th on the squad, minus 36. If he gets out of here 180, still gives himself a chance. Last thing you want to do is stop the momentum, go open, open. Ian Kloss fell back to minus 88, but Kloss can put together the last 4 to tack onto the 2 on the board. Put 250 on there, boom, you're back in the minus 30 range, and you're back. That's the one thing about the scoring pace today. If you can manage to find a pair that fits, you make the right shot when you get to that pair and keep going, and pop that big score.
Big jumps.
Yeah.
Big jumps. You shoot 240, and everybody around you shoots 170, 180.
Yep.
It's 60, 70 pins.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Watson with the 5-pin.
Do we raise our hand for him?
No, he's not the host proprietor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll let him off.
He will be the host. I mean, if he does it during the RPI in his center in October, yeah, then I'll be at home. I'll be at home raising my hand, watching him. Send him a text. Hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Kloss just gets that one over.
It's a good bounce back from that last game.
That's the thing for Ian Kloss, too. He's not one of those kids that comes in, and I've seen him bowl at other events, too. He's not dragging 12 bowling balls with him. I mean, his dad runs a pro shop.
Yep.
But, you know, he works with the equipment that he knows is going to work for him, and he doesn't, you know, he doesn't have 3 more bowling bags full of balls in the car. He's only made a couple of ball changes so far today. Hey,
nice shot.
shooter! There we go for Pula. Pula at minus 47 in our top 8 on the squad.
Yeah, a big shot. Once again, stay clean, get something going.
Trying to find some way to get us. What do we have? 2 strikes on the board between these 3 players on 11 and 12?
Just was going to say that.
And we had some scores come off this pair and A squad.
Yes.
So
Nice,
it's a little surprising right now. Yeah, you want to take it a little easier on yourself. Get them all down to 1 ball. Give yourself some rest time. I'm like, how did they get so far behind? I know they didn't throw a lot of spares last game, but
No.
apparently this game got them. Watson with those very short steps to get to the line, and that was just right early and almost 4. The old 1, 2, 6, 7, 10. Checking the PBA statistics here. Hold on 1 second. Watson yet to shoot at the 1, 2, 6, 7, 10 in 2025 in a PBA regional event. So he's looking to be 1,000, batting 1,000 on this spare.
Those stats brought to you by 6-foot folding table.
If you know a Buffalo Bills fan, keep him away from him. 6-foot folding tables.
Yes. Oh,
Did he get it?
No.
I thought that 2-pin was going to come back across and spin into the 610. Son of a gun.
well, I haven't got 190. See what Ian does here.
So he gets plus 33s in that minus 55 position. That's not a bad place to be with 3 to go.
3 to go, right.
You go 210, 210, 210, and
Exactly.
you might be seeing action tomorrow.
Exactly.
That's one thing, too. He's really quieted how much his head used to. I mean, a year ago.
Yeah. Big jerk.
mean-
Yeah.
Also used to remind me of the sheepdog from the Warner Brothers commercials with the hair in front of his eyes.
I don't have that issue. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, and now Zagar finds trouble. Son of a gun.
And that's, I think he's right in the right spot. Maybe just missed it on the bottom.
Yeah.
Went a little long.
Like I said, it seems to be more hand positioning today. What that release is doing, more than a speed or targeting error, that really causes the big splits.
Right. Get around it just a touch
Yeah.
and goes 100 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, Ian did that a little bit on that shot, too. That was just a little bit flippy at the release point. I mean, he's pretty aggressive through the shot anyway. Yeah, and that's one thing that bowlers, the right-handers have been doing all day. They go across to that left side spare, that 2-4 combination, and it's so flat on the left side. They're used to having a little oil to
Yep.
push it down. That inside of 15, that, you know, or outside of 15 on the left side,
yeah.
it's not there. There's some oil, but not as much as they're used to. And so now Zagar looking at a 193 max. Watson not having himself a good day. He's just looking to try to finish strong, get himself ready for that. That still amazes me, too. Like, we have our host here, Stefan Hanen, bowling while this is, you know, anybody that can host a regional event and bowl at the same time,
yeah.
man, just here's your round of applause. 'Cause
It's tough.
you know, these guys hear every noise in the bowling center. It doesn't sound right. And,
Yep.
you know, you're trying to make sure the bowlers are happy, the fans are happy.
Oh,
know,
it's a lot of
you're-
pressure. Jeff
you know-
Johnson, 4 seasons. Gary Allstott. I know when we bowled.
And Plaza, yeah.
I know when we bowl down there, Gary typically doesn't bowl. Jeff bowled his.
Yep.
We went to Washington, Illinois, and bowled at Gary's place too. When we had a top 24,
Yeah.
and Gary got in and bowled, and it's hard. I mean, you want to make everybody happy. You want to get the food done. You want to get everybody situated, and then you try to concentrate and you try to bowl. It's hard.
Yep.
And
So yeah, it's hats off to them for trying to pull off the daily double with hosting and bowling and making the cut. Last year it was Stefan's first made PBA regional cut, and he was all happy about that,
giddy.
as he should have been.
He
Yeah,
was
as
giddy.
he should have been. So he's, when you're a proprietor, you don't have the time to work on your game, and he's had a family. Vance is what, 15 now? I mean, between running centers and being a family, sometimes you don't have the time to.
He
to,
has
to bowl
so
a
much
lot.
more time. He
And
doesn't have
now-
to fix anything anymore.
That's true. He has been bowling a lot more. I've
Yeah.
seen it. He's even experimented two-handed. I've seen a few times as well. So
Yeah, I think making the switch to strings probably took a lot of pressure off him here at Sussex with fixing stuff and getting everything ready. And I know that was kind of hard. I know they had mechanics, but it was still hard.
yeah, and sometimes it's just here was the parts because they were such
Yeah.
original. Brunswick A machines, not even the A2s. They had conversion kits, and it was just tough finding parts. And you see them taking planes to Arizona and shipping things back. That's that to keep your center running. Yeah, that's a lot. So no doubt about it. So once again, thanks to our season-long sponsor, H5G Brands, for everything they've done to bring you PBA regional action. Thanks to 10 Other Productions here on the PBA YouTube channel. Check them out after we're done today, h5gbrands.com, especially with the new lower pricing. And your player movement between Game 5 and Game 6 is, what do we got here? Skip a pair of land on the second. So players you see here on 9 and 10 are going to go to 13 and 14. 11 and 12 will go to 15 and 16. Well, the players you see here on 9 and 10 are already bowling there.
Yeah.
Game 6. So we're going to get to that break. Game 6. Brian,
Thanks, Phil.
thanks for sitting
Appreciate
in
it.
with me
Yep,
today.
Absolutely, brother.
So appreciate you filling the time, filling the information for things I didn't know about the lane pattern and stuff like that. It's always good to get a player's insight, especially, hey, if you bowl with a PBA regional player in your leagues or whatever, ask them questions. They'll be happy to answer it for you because they play a different game out here on the regional tour than you do in leagues, but there's a lot of stuff they know that if they pass it along could help you during your league
Absolutely.
sessions. So
100%.
thanks again, Brian.
Thank you.
Once again, thanks to Brian Schmidt for sitting in for a few games with us, PB regional player. And let's take a peek in on the biggest name on the roster today. EJ Tackett. Has not been a good day for Tackett to this point. Sitting outside the top 10 on the squad currently. A good chunk into the minus. We'll get you the scoring update after 5 games here on B Squad. But there's the man that's second place, should be still Alex Acosta. And the man that's your runaway leader here on B Squad, Justin Knowles. And I'll tell you what, as tough as this 45-foot pattern is playing, they call it a test pattern because it's testing the player's ability and their patience, definitely today. As Knowles unofficially at plus 96. For his first 5 games. Acosta plus 16. Probably plus 18 for Acosta unofficially. Kainitschke unofficially in 3rd. Tackett 13th on the squad, and he's at 94 under for his first 5 games. So it may take a Herculean effort by Tackett to get himself back into a potential number. Kind of, we were guessing earlier, minus 30 or so. Could advance to tomorrow's top 16 in the Cashers round. The Cashers round start at 9:30 a.m. Central Time, 10:30 Eastern for those of you joining us. Points East. And is that going to roll the 2 out? Yes, it does. 10 doesn't go for Tackett. Trenton Holtz had a solid early start, and it's been a fade back for him since. Holtz came out of the gates 181, 203, so you're saying okay position. We're not going to mention what game 3 was. Came back at 194 in game 4, but yeah, big struggle game 3 really has Holtz down the leaderboard. As we mentioned, Nitschke currently in 3rd on the squad. And if he can shoot a game in the 2 teens or so, that should get him into the plus. Should have your 5-game scoring update shortly. Tell you what, William, if somebody were to actually shoot 290 today, I think they would deserve like dinner bought for them by the house or something like that. That would definitely be the high game of the game, high game of the day. We had a game in the 270s earlier today by Dave Barris on A Squad. That helped Barris get into a spot that should advance. If A is Barris, the only other player that was plus other than Chad Moss. Chad Moss plus 124, Dave Barris plus 3. Lots of players in that minus teens to minus 30 range. And some of these players can start putting something together games 6, 7, and 8. Try to make a comeback. Knowles has not been leaving a lot of empty spaces on his scorecard today. A bunch of strikes last game, obviously. Had a 9-bagger in there. Longest string of the day that I've seen. We had a front 8 from Ryan Burton during game 8 of A Squad, and then a vicious solid 9-pin. Took his chance at perfection away. Alex, I think they owe you one today. Wasn't the prettiest of hits, but all 10 go. So let's give you your rundown here after 5 games on B squad. Justin Knowles plus 96 is your leader. He's just 5 pins behind Chad Moss. Moss finished at plus 101. I gave an incorrect score for Moss a little earlier, but Knowles just 5 pins to the plus behind Moss. Alex Acosta second at plus 18. Third is Kai Nitschke, minus 29. Fourth, Ryan Zagar, minus 32. Fifth, River Van Vagel, minus 39. Evan Gens, sixth on the squad, minus 46. Connor Poulos, seventh on the squad, minus 53. The bounce back game from Ian Klaas has him eighth on the squad at minus 65. Louis Bendeck, minus 66. Ben Medina at that same number. Seth Tickmeyer, minus 67. Leighton Barlow, minus 68. Quentin Bowen, minus 72. So there's some players that are close together there. Right now, if we would have taken just the strictly plus-minus cut after 5 games, that's currently River Van Vagel at minus 39. So some players like Gens, Pula, Klaas, Bendeck, Medina, and Tiekmeyer, along with Quentin Bowen, they're going to need to put together, for 3 games, 640 or so. Maybe even a 650 or 660 for players like Bowen and Tiekmeyer just to get themselves into tomorrow's advancers round at 9:30 a.m. 16 players going to that round. Well, never say die for Tackett, but that 3-pin's not going to help the cause, as we mentioned. EJ minus 94, so he's one of those players that's probably going to need a 680 for his last 3. He's getting there. He's got the score sheet clean. Through 5 with a double, so he's pacing 2-0, but then you got to go 240, 240. He's got to start putting a few more strikes. Another time the hands go up in frustration for Tackett. 3-pin last time in that lane. Now let's pop the 10 onto it. And he just can't get any momentum going today. Meanwhile, Knowles just looking to keep things clean. Yeah, let's go check in on Ryan Zagar. You're going to see him coming to the left side of your screen here. Zagar working on a 3-bagger. Zagar in the top 5 on the squad, and that ball just hydroplanes at the end of the pattern. And misses the head pin. Zagar currently minus 32, 4th on the squad. So Tackett keeping it clean, still pacing 2-0. Knowles keeping it clean, pacing 2-10. And you can see, yeah, not happy with the release. And you see him make the side roll motion with his fingers. Got a little twirly with it. And on this 45-foot pattern, it's going to go long if you don't have that rotation correct. And a tough conversion here coming up for Knowles. Knowles can't get it done. Over to Zagar. Can't get it done either. So Zagar back instead of possibly getting 230, now looking at a max at 210. Costa 235 max. Tack at 229 max. It's amazing how weird this sport can be sometimes. EJ couldn't miss on lane 11 to start. Then when he started missing on 11, picked up lane 12, and he's striking on 12. See if he can get everything sorted out for the 10th frame as Acosta bounces back with a strike. Couple of faces of the H5G Brands on the PBA Tour with Justin Knowles and EJ Tackett. And EJ can't get the 4 to go, and he's looking at 2-0 max, and he's going to need huge games 7 and 8 to have any chance of seeing additional action tomorrow. Even the best in the world can have their day where the pins and the pattern just don't agree with what they want to do. And, you know, as I said earlier, 3 weeks in Australia for EJ. A little bowling, a little vacation with his wife, Natalie. And, you know, could be some of the jet lag on top of it. Just the littlest off feeling can affect how everything comes out of the hand. Ball change, another 4-pin for EJ, so yeah, he has his work cut out for him for sure. Your player movement from game 6 to game 7, simply one pair to the right. So Acosta attack at Knowles, make the move to 13 and 14, each King Company over to 11 and 12. And there you see Zagar. He's going to be looking at a 190 max, and it's getting down to the nitty-gritty here with 2 to go, and it's not a big cut. Players don't need huge games to get there for some of them. For some like Justin Knowles, you just need to stop the open frames, just keep filling them, and you're definitely going to be seeing competition tomorrow. So once again, your player movement, one pair to the right. And the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF Edge String, rolls on from Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Let's stick with the hottest hands in the building. Well, one of the hottest hands in the building with Justin Knowles. Costa having a pretty solid day for this tough pattern. As of right now, we have 4 players averaging 200 or better out of 47 on this 45-foot pattern. We'll give you one last peek of it today coming into Game 7 here after Acosta fires at his spare, which he covers. There you go. Very unique pattern, one I haven't seen in tournament competition before, where every one of those outside 4 boards is dry from the foul line to the head pin. Unique shape, unique pattern. It's definitely a test for our players here today as E.J. Tackett over 90 pins to the minus currently and trying to gut out. I mean, honestly, two of the biggest games of the year. I mean, he hasn't faced a pattern like this at all. People are expecting you to win this event. I mean, let's be honest. Anytime E.J. Tackett shows up for something, people count him in as one of the players that should be winning. And to find yourself that far deep in the standings is a little unusual. But Acosta and Knowles all day long have been sitting in those 1-2 spots here on B Squad. And Knowles just keeps rolling along. Well, there we go. Tackett with that Arctic white ball. Really trying to control the lane front to back. It's not just a side-to-side control today, it's the front-to-back control. That is extra tough. You can see, I mean, Knowles knew that one at 15 feet, there wasn't a chance. Sometimes you see players going, okay, maybe it'll hold, maybe it'll get there. We're not seeing too many players fooled by errant shots today. Front 6 for Tackett? Yes, indeed. EJ with that ball with the with his initials on it. Putting strikes up like we normally see EJ do. believe that's the EXJ Jackal that was released earlier this year. And, oh, are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? It's like the head pin came back across and there's a slow pin on the pin deck, kind of pushed it forward. And another pocket 710. That's the third one we've seen for Tackett today. And Acosta caves them all in. That's the Rob Stone pork product for Acosta. So let's give you your rundown after 6 games here on B Squad. Knowles plus 85, Acosta plus 52. Medina third, minus 20. Fourth, Bolin, minus 35. Big game 5 for Bolin. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Big game 6 for Bolin, 237 after a 155 in game 5 for Bolin. Gens minus 48. Gens is actually the cut number at minus 48 currently. Tied at that number with Ryan Zagar. Some other B Squad bowlers are close. Tietmeyer at minus 57. Nitschke minus 58. Pula at that same number. Van Vegel at minus 60. And then a bit back to Ian Kloss, minus 78. Louis Bendeck, minus 84. So some players are going to need a couple of big games here. EJ Tackett being one of them. As right now, EJ is at minus 86. So 40-some outside the number, and that ball was the worst of the game for EJ. Can still get to 256. Spare here last 4. And he's going to need it, trying to play catch-up here at the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open, presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF Edge String Pin Setters. Just enough of the 10 pin for Tackett. If you get a chance, if you have a center near you with string pin setters, Brian Schmidt said before, get your chance, bowl on them first before making the judgment. But see if they'll let you go back there and with a little supervision and see how they work. It's amazing. There's actually an app tied in to these QubicaAMF Edge String Pin Setters that tells anybody that has the app in the center what exactly is wrong with the machine. And it'll tell you how to fix it. It tells you when to rotate your pins so it's not constantly just being the head pin and the 3 pin getting beat on all the time. You have to change, I believe it's every 10,000 frames. They recommend changing the pins around. It tells you when to change your pins around. It tells you the order to change them in. Just an incredible piece of modern machinery. All the computer controls. As we said, if you just want to practice certain leaves all afternoon long, you can have that programmed from the tablet on that lane, and you can just punch in, I want to shoot at 10 pins, I want to shoot at 3/6/10s, I want to shoot at 3/6/9/10s. And you'll be able to do that. Yeah, pretty phenomenal pieces of machinery. I've had a chance to see them up close. Oh, wow. Oh. Talk about just a ripper 710 for Medina. Medina currently third on the squad at minus 20. And that's going to keep him looking at the minus another 710. It's just wow. Just wow. Just when you thought EJ was getting momentum on the front 6. Oh. Just painful. So your player movement from game 7 to game 8. It's a pretty big move. The players you see here on 13 and 14 go down to 3 and 4, so you skip 2 pairs, land on the third. Players you see on 15 and 16 go to 5 and 6. We'll get a little bit with Knowles, EJ, and Acosta, especially if EJ can get a big finish here and at least get to 232 and try to put another huge game together in Game 8. Otherwise, we'll bounce around bowlers that are near the cut number. And we don't need to go away that quick. This pair is just not a waste of time on the approach. That they're 3 frames ahead of some of our other pairs. And they're going to be waiting for a little bit with going down to 3 and 4 as that pair is just entering the 8th frame. Hey! They all fall. Yeah, you see EJ. Why didn't that fall on 13? EJ's not the only one up in frustration right now. You know, I kind of joked around at the end of A Squad going, hey, I'd like to see a parking lot cam. I don't know if I'd want to see that after these squads are done. Let the bowlers fry out in peace. There's going to be some fry outs. Yeah, they all fall, EJ. I don't know if a noise got him. At the foul line, he's still looking at something down there. I don't know what, but yeah, there was a clap or a snap or something right when he was coming through the shot. Still, that outside chance is going to take another huge game, Game 8, and it's going to take not getting those bad breaks like we saw in 7th and 9th frames for EJ to see competition tomorrow. There you go, 2-3. Well, it's a good thing we don't have audio on from the pair itself, because I'm sure there were some choice words uttered by Mr. Tackett there, and I honestly can't blame him. One bit. Not one bit. Fatal Venom. That might be a new one then. So I saw the lighter colors on that ball, so that's why I kind of went back and thought maybe that was it. Must be a newer piece. I haven't, and honestly, I don't follow bowling balls that much. So thanks for the information there, Cheetah. It's always appreciated. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I mean, once they've worked in, QubicaAMF, the big one here. I know there's other companies that manufacture, as you said. They keep getting closer and closer to free fall, and they haven't stopped. It's just because they made these edge string pincers doesn't mean they're not improving on them anymore. They're still working on things. What can we do to make it better? What can we make it do to be so close to free fall that it takes any doubt out of people's minds? I mean, it's never going to be 100% equivalent, but when you're 99.5%, that's pretty darn good. And yeah, Medina now finding some problem. I'll tell you what, we're gonna be juggling all kinds of stuff at the cut number here, because it is going to be a tight cut number line with this low scoring pace. I mean, a mark could be the difference from 16th place to 10th or 9th place at the rate this is going. So Knowles, they'll get him to plus 95. Acosta drops 3, so he's still plus 49, so he's still well within the number. I mean, those two players we know we're going to see tomorrow, unless Acosta shoots the worst game of his career. Tackett needs another big game. Medina needs to stop the bleeding here. Van Vagel needs to punch out here, get to 205, and then a decent game, as he's at minus 60 currently. So, yeah, there's a lot of situations going on. So, once again, your player movement, they're skipping 2 pairs, landing on the third. The players you just saw in 13 and 14 with Tackett, Acosta, and Knowles, they're finishing on 3 and 4. (15 and 16) to move to 5 and 6, and this is the PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open. We're getting into our final game of B Squad qualifications, and after that next game, we will know our 16 players advancing to tomorrow's Advancers Round, aptly named. Beginning at 9:30 a.m. Central Time here from Foxx View Lanes. Thanks again to H5G Brands for being our presenting sponsor, and to QubicaAMF String Pin Setters for being our power sponsor this weekend. Well, we know 2 of the 3 bowlers on this pair will see action tomorrow with Acosta and Knowles. Tackett work to do, and that work load got increased a little bit with the first frame open. We'll get you the 7-game B squad scoring update as soon as it comes across. And Acosta keeping it clean through 2. So unofficially, plus 95 for Knowles, plus 49 for Acosta. Next in line is Zagar at minus 21. We'll keep an eye on Zagar as he's going to be over on 9 and 10 here. And that wasn't pretty for you see Knowles chuckling to himself on the way back going, yeah, that was not my best release of the day. Zagar early open frame. And Tackett light again, and boy, he's just getting these pairs where he's got one lane that's just eating him up and spitting him out. We saw that lane 13 last game after the front 6. Pocket 7-10 in the 7th, pocket 7-10 in the 9th. Now this time, another 7, or this time a 2-10, only a 2-10 remaining for him. And it is not looking good. The sun may be setting on Tackett's time in Waukesha. And our defending champion may not make it. And more is starting to look like. Oh, now wrapped. It's just, I don't know if EJ was originally planning to drive home this evening. Obviously not. When you're defending champion of the event, you usually get a weekend reservation at the hotel for the event you're the defending titleist in. There might be a drive back to the greater Bluffton area tonight, and he may be doing it at 120 miles an hour. His 45-foot pattern has been testing everyone today, and unfortunately for EJ, he's not passing that test. Seen a lot of fans holding up their phones when EJ shooting, getting some video, that type of thing, and yeah, there's gonna be some fans here in Waukesha that aren't gonna be happy to come back tomorrow and not have EJ Tackett in the field. Checking on Zagar. As I mentioned, third out in the squad. One open, no doubles to offset so far. Pula is one of those players that's been close, up and down all day long. Pula was minus 58 after 6. That was a 6-8 for Knowles in the third frame. Somebody had the question in the chat. Had to go back and check lane talk. I've been kind of bouncing around trying to get score updates and such. Hopefully we're going to have that 7-game scoring update momentarily. Yeah, we can follow those players that are close. We know Zagar is one that's close, and now he's given a few back. Always good to see Chris Watson, one of the guys in bowling, really working hard to keep the competitive side of the sport front and center at Strike and Spare too. I mean, great league base they have there as well, but lots of tournaments in it, not just hosting the PBA RPIs in October, but handicap events. He runs a great handicap sweeper series during the summer on Friday nights. We mentioned Jerry Mars on A Squad. Runs a sweeper series on the north side of Chicago with Lockport being near Joliet. A lot of south side of Chicago, southwest side of the greater Chicago area bowlers find their way to Strike and Spare. That's always fun to stream that sweeper on a Friday night before their Celeste Walker event. And just another big shout out to Chris Watson for everything he does. Oh, how about that? 10 goes for Pula. Don't count him out yet. Little late slap out there for Pula, like the late falling of the 10-pin. Let's check back in on Tackett and company. Tackett just spare, and now look at another 9 spare. And yeah, we are not going to see any action out of EJ Tackett here at Foxx View Lanes tomorrow. I mean, EJ Tackett jumped all the way up to 5th on the squad, but he was still 50-something under. Not even close enough to get in the cut line. Actually, he is the cut number. Pardon me. Now that I got the scoring update. But he's going to need to start throwing some strikes because he's got players like Tietmeyer, Medina, Nitschke on his tail. Pula's ahead of him at minus 44. So here's your rundown. Knowles plus 95, Acosta plus 49, Zagar minus 23, Pula minus 44, and Tackett minus 54 are your B squad players in the number. Tackett actually the number right now at minus 54, but 2 opens, no doubles. I mean, Tackett's back in the minus 80 range already again without basically, you know, he's got to, if he strikes out, he's at 203. Will it keep Tietmeyer, who's at minus 66, Medina at minus 69, Nitschke minus 75, Van Vegel minus 78 behind him? It's punch out or nothing right now for EJ, I think. We'll check in on some of these other players. You can see Nitschke next to him there. 1 open, no doubles. Way outside chance. Trenton Holtz minus 85, Quentin Bowen minus 88. They're going to need humongous games. Well, Tackett found a strike. Now he's got to find another one. Problem is, he hasn't seen a strike on lane 4 this game. He hasn't seen much of anything pretty. A couple 9 counts, couple splits. Van Vegel. Yeah, he's going to have to punch out to do anything. Tietmeyer in 13 and 14, only in the 4th frame. No doubles in an open. He's the man just behind Tackett. I was not expecting Tackett to be that high. It'd be the cut number after he shot a big game and other players had decent games, but here you go. Tackett, if he can punch out here, that's really going to put the pressure on the players behind him. Can he gut it out? Goes high. Oh, and a big 4. That lane's been giving him issues all game. You see right there the facetious fist pump. And barring the miracle conversion, he's looking at a game in the 170s max. Medina at 5 and 6, along with Van Vagel, and they're both just not pacing a ton right now. Both of them with opens, no doubles. But they're 20 pins already behind what Tackett's at. Trenton Holtz, well, minus 85. Look at Holtz coming through here. And Holtz is going to pass Tackett. Talking about a comeback from Holtz, my goodness. He's in the 240s already with an open. Holtz is coming back off of 133 in game 3. 192, 189, 196, 221 to get back to minus 85. And now he has a chance to get to tomorrow. If he goes off the sheet, he's in minus single digits. Costa's in the 170s. He's in. We know Knowles is in. We'll check on Zagar momentarily. Tackett minus 42 this game. So that's minus 96. So Tackett falls out, gets passed by. Pula's going to stay in. Zagar's got work to do here, but he's still ahead of Tackett no matter what. Oh, huge break there for Zagar. Ian Kloss too far back to make anything happen at this point. Same for Gens. Let's get back to Holtz as he just struck first ball of the 10th frame, so Holtz is going in. Just a matter of where he ends up. Yeah. So he'll end up in single digits. Poole will stay. So now the next target number is Watson at minus 33. That's a dead score for Medina or Nitschke to get by. And Nitschke's not going to get by that as he's... as his max is 187. There you go. Great finish by Holtz. We talked about it earlier. You get that one game that can make your round. Holtz made it happen. Medina can get to 206. That will leave him in the minus 50 range. And with Pula staying in, let's check back in on Zagar. Zagar's finished. Zagar finished at 182, so Zagar loses 18, so that's minus 41. So Medina can't get past that. 206 gives Medina, yeah, minus 63. So unofficially, here are your top 16 for tomorrow, and in no particular order. Chad Moss, Justin Knowles, Ryan Burton, Alex Acosta, Dave Barris, Matt Gasson, Darren Bloomquist, Ethan Jones, Kevin McCune, Ryan Lapano, Matt Hibbard, Ryan Zagar, Brent Boho, Philip Watson, Connor Pula, and jumping in with a big 270-plus game, 276, probably 279 for 278 for Trenton Holtz. Holtz jumps in. Your number unofficially is going to be Ryan Zagar at minus 41. So join us tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. We'll stay live, but we're going to end the audio portion of our commentary as these players, Gens, Kenyon, and Klaas, the only pairs yet to finish. So we'll stay here in the main feed. But join us 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Central tomorrow for your advances round of this PBA Foxx View Lanes Midwest Open presented by H5G Brands and powered by QubicaAMF String. And be sure to check out all the great PBA merchandise available at h5gbrands.com after you sign off on the streaming today. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on PBA YouTube. Thanks to QubicaAMF for powering the live stream. Thanks to H5G Brands for being our presenting sponsor of this event and for our 10 on the Deck Productions live streaming of PBA Regionals all of 2025. And, yeah, it's a shocker. I see some of you posting in the chat. The one player you thought would see tomorrow, as good as he is, everybody has a day, and unfortunately, that day was bad for EJ Tackett. So join us tomorrow. We've got a title to decide. We have $3,000 to give our champion at the end of the day. We'll see you tomorrow here from Foxx View Lanes in Waukesha. I'm $2 Phil Bradley. Hey, parents, take the kids bowling because you know they're going to have fun for life. We will see you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Central.
Don't worry about all the singletons I missed.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know it was that. I didn't know that was an issue.
No, there were plenty of issues.
Yeah, well, yeah. Not that hard to have issues.
I don't think I left him. I don't think I got him that count.
See you later, Taylor. Phil. Second game not so much.
Well, second game, everybody. First game, everybody.
Hey,
Take away the one. Still out.
Follow where we went last night.
you can literally get from Holland Center to my house.
I could probably.
This is a quality purchase. Quality feature purchase.
That was a good game at that.
Hi, buddy. How are you? Nice to meet you. Don't be shy next time.
I watch you on TV a lot.
Yeah. Oh, sorry you had to watch the poor bowling today.